Collective, I am the Nosy Witch. Welcome to my channel, Nosy Witch Tarot. This reading is titled, Who Wants to Make You Their Valentine? Who is your secret admirer and why are they admiring you? So as usual, just a little disclaimer. This reading is intended for entertainment purposes only, and it is just a little bit of fun and a little bit of a hype you up reading for Valentine's Day. So I'm aiming to try and get this reading up. If I'm able to edit on time, I'm aiming to get it up on Valentine's Day. If not, it will be just after. However, the reading is intended to be timeless, as are all my readings. So if you are listening to it after Valentine's Day, then the reading still applies and you might still be able to find something that resonates for you. But this reading is intended as just a little bit of fun for Valentine's Day. So if you're at home on Valentine's Day and you are wondering, where are all my flowers? Where are all my cards from my secret admirers? Because you know that you're a solid 10 out of 10 and that you deserve that. This reading is here to confirm that and spill a little bit of tea, a little bit of gossip on who your secret admirers might be. Even if they have not sent you the flowers yet, even if they have not sent you the card yet, even if it's past Valentine's Day, this is who is admiring you. And this should just be confirmation for you of things that your intuition already knows. And that is the thing with love readings. I feel as though as tarot readers, we have a responsibility to be a little bit careful about the messages that we send to the collective. Obviously, we have to be honest about what's on the cards, but please do remember that all these readings are intended for a collective audience, so please do use your own discernment and rely on your own intuition to guide you. I should not be telling you something that your intuition doesn't already know. This should just be confirmation. When it comes to discussing topics such as soulmates or twin flames, if that is something you believe in, I would just like to remind you to please check in with yourself and just remember that no tarot reader or no tarot reading is a substitute for your own intuition and what that is telling you. So if a tarot reader says to you, this person is your soulmate, but that person has hurt you, has lied to you, has cheated on you like 20 times, please listen to your own intuition, your own discernment. Please don't think that you have to stay with that person because it's what you've heard on a tarot reading. You are not stuck with somebody forever just because you might consider them a soulmate. Our soulmates can come to us in many different forms and we can have many different soulmates, in my opinion. So just remember to check in with yourself. I know when I've watched other readers, particularly Shadow Play Tarot, who I love to watch, she always does her little Delulu checkpoints, which I'm not going to do because I don't want to steal that idea from her. But I do think that it's very important to check in with yourself because the human brain is not infallible in terms of us believing what we want to believe. So this is just a reminder to please not make something fit if it doesn't fit for your situation. If I am telling you that somebody is a lovely person and they are great and they are going to be by your side, they are going to be loyal, and they have done everything that proves otherwise, then please go off your own experience with that person because I am probably not talking about them. A little bit of Delulu is absolutely fine. I feel like we all need that, but not too much, okay? So this is just a reminder to please trust yourself. Please listen to your own intuition. Please don't get caught up in what certain tarot readers are saying just because you want it to be true. That is all. I just think it's very important to mention that when we go into love readings. I don't ever want to be in the situation where I am encouraging a person to stay in a situation that is harming them, that is actively harmful to them. I don't want to be that person. So I'm sorry to go on about that, but that is just something I want you to be mindful of and be cautious about going into the reading. But other than that, it is just intended in good fun. So please take it that way. So we have 5 piles to choose from today. Let's have a little look at the piles. So over here, we have pile 1 and the blue crystal heart. We have pile 1 and the blue crystal heart. Here we have pile 2 and the black crystal heart. That is pile 2 and the black crystal heart. Here we have pile 3 and the pale pink crystal heart. Pile 3 and the pale pink crystal heart. Here we have pile 4 and the yellow crystal heart. Pile 4 and the yellow crystal heart. And here we have pile 5 and the white crystal heart. Pile 5 and the white crystal heart. So please choose whichever pile is drawing you in, whichever pile is calling to you, that your intuition is guiding you towards. If for whatever reason you are feeling disconnected from your intuition today, you are more than welcome to use a random number picker to pick a pile for you. As always, you are very welcome to pick more than one pile. If you are drawn to more than one pile, there could be multiple messages in the piles for you. Please remember this is a collective reading and not every single detail is going to resonate. But if you are drawn to a pile, I believe that there will be some messages in that pile for you and something you can learn from the reading. So as is the case with all of my readings that I've done so far, this reading will be split into 2 main sections. So for the first part of the reading, we are going to look at a few oracle cards from a couple of different decks. I will give the names of the decks in the description below if you are interested in purchasing one of these decks for yourself. This portion will be a kind of energy check. We will try and pick on the person who is currently secretly admiring you. We may also roll the astro dice. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to see how long the reading is, but I may roll the astro dice as well. So that will be the first part of your reading. We will then go into the tarot portion of the reading, and this will elaborate on the energy a little bit further. We might also discuss the reasons why this person is attracted to you, so a bit more, going into a bit more depth on who they are and why they are interested in you. And this might give you further confirmation of who this person is. I think I will be using the Trash Panda Tarot today. And that is just because I think this deck is really cute and adorable. It's not because I think your love interest is going to be trash. We are not trying to manifest that. That is not the energy we're going for. So please don't worry. It's just because I think the deck is very cute and I was just drawn to use that one today. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then please stay tuned. We are about to go ahead and get into the reading. If you like these readings, if you like my style of content, please, if at all possible, like the video, give me a comment, please, if possible, subscribe. All of that would mean the absolute world to me. I have noticed every single like, every single comment, and every single subscriber, and I am so, so grateful for all of the feedback I've had so far. Thank you to everyone for being so lovely and supportive as I'm learning and as I'm trying to grow. I really, really do appreciate it, and I can't thank you enough. So thank you again for the ongoing support, and I really hope you enjoy the reading and I hope it resonates. And if you have any ideas for readings you'd like me to do in future, please let me know. I would love to hear what you are interested in going forward, and I'd love to try and accommodate that as a thank you for the support that you've given me so far. As usual, timestamps will be in the description below. I will also pin the timestamps in the comments. Anyway, without further hesitation, once you have picked your pile, please go to the timestamp below and that will take you to your reading. Thank you very much for being here. I really hope you enjoy, and I hope you have a beautiful Valentine's Day if you are watching on Valentine's Day. And if not, I hope you have a beautiful day generally. See you in your reading, collective. Hi, Pile 1 Collective. Happy Valentine's Day if you're watching this around Valentine's Day, and welcome to your reading. If you chose this blue crystal heart and you chose Pile 1, this will be your reading. If you would like a little bit more information on what this reading will entail, then I go through all of it in the introduction, so please check out the introduction. However, if you just want me to get straight into this reading, please stay tuned because we're about to do that. If you enjoy my readings and if you like my style of content, please, if possible, give this video a like, please comment, and please, If at all possible, subscribe. That would mean the absolute world to me. I notice every single like, every single comment, and every single subscriber, and it all means so much to me. I really appreciate the support I've gotten so far, and it would mean the world to me if you could help support me and this channel further, help me to grow with engagement, with likes, comments, and subscribers if you like me and you want me to do more readings. Thank you very much for all your support so far. I really do appreciate it. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's just get straight into the reading, Pal 1. Okay, Pal 1. So we have number 36, Play, from the Urban Crow Oracle. We have Violet Coral, Community. And we have Vulnerable. Let me just check that all these cards are in frame, Pal 1. Okay, Pal 1. So the person who secretly admires you right now, the person who wants to make you their Valentine, I get the sense that it is quite possibly somebody in your community, and I am getting local community. So for that reason, I would be quite surprised if it was somebody who, you know, was long distance or something like that. I mean, it definitely could be, because with community, it could be like an online community. Or if it is long distance, it could be like somebody who you met in your local community and they have since moved to somewhere else, another part of the country or another part of the world. But they do have some kind of attachment to your community in some way, whatever that may be. So this could be literally like the area that you live. They live in the same city, they live in a similar area, you see them out in your local community. This could be like seeing this person just on nights out, or when you are with friends at gatherings, things like that. Or it could be a community in terms of like your workplace, or in terms of like a hobby that you engage with, like if you go to a club, or if you go to the gym, or if you do a fitness class, or anything, any kind of class. It could be somebody from this particular class or from your local gym, something like that. But equally, if it is somebody a little bit further afield, it could be somebody who you are in an online community with. I'm getting like gaming for some reason, but it doesn't have to be. It could just be somebody who you talk to a lot online and you are in the same communities, you have the same interests, and you talk a lot for that reason. If it's gaming, maybe this is somebody who you talk to a lot when you're gaming online and you're speaking to them on a headset or something like that. It could be somebody, if it is online and you've not met them in person, it could be somebody like that where you're gaming and you're talking to them and they have developed an attraction towards you just based on this, even though they haven't met you yet, or something like that. I think I'm getting gaming because of the play card as well. It's like you and this person have a very playful communication style. That's what I'm getting. Your interactions so far might not have felt too serious. You might not yet have had many like heart-to-hearts with this person. With this vulnerable card, I'm getting that this person really struggles being vulnerable, and maybe you have more of that kind of playful, friendly, sort of bantery relationship with them. I wouldn't be surprised if this is somebody who like tries to insult you as a form of flirting, or someone who like argues with you a little bit, or who tries to wind you up and they think that it's flirting. This might be somebody who behaves a little bit childishly, like, you know, when you're in school and somebody teases you when they like you to try and get your attention, they try and wind you up a little bit, they try and get you going. It's like this person could be a bit like that, and that is their way of kind of showing affection because they don't really know another way to do that. And it is a little bit childish. It's like they've got a lot to learn. But I think they kind of don't really know any other way to be. That is what I'm getting. It could be that you don't even know this person secretly has a crush on you, because maybe you think of them because of the way they behave in this sort of bantery, playful way. Maybe you just see it as sort of like, I know this is going to sound weird, but almost like a sibling relationship where you kind of like tease each other and you make fun of each other a little bit or something like that. But this person, they do it because they actually have feelings for you, deeper feelings that maybe they don't know how to express. They don't know how to be vulnerable. And I don't even know if they know themselves that that's why they're behaving the way they are. I don't even know if they're capable of being in touch with their own emotions in that way. But it's like a lot of the things they do to try and get your attention in some way. They are very focused on gaining your attention. I mean, if they are a person who winds you up, it could be that you give back just as much to them, and this could be one of the reasons that they're even more attracted to you. It could be because of like that playful energy that you give each other, that they just find you extremely funny. They have a lot of fun with you, and you give as much as you get. Like if they're trying to wind you up, you'll give them that same energy, you'll match their energy, and that's something that they find even more attractive. I get the feeling that this is definitely not somebody who has yet expressed many feelings for you that are deeper than surface level. I just don't think they've been able to be open and vulnerable in that way. So that might give you a bit of insight into who this person is. If you have someone who winds you up, who gets on your nerves, who tries to get under your skin in a playful way, and who is a little bit childish and potentially a little bit emotionally immature, then that is the person who has a crush on you and isn't telling you. I do get the sense that you are like friendly with this person, or at least friendly acquaintances. I don't think it's a complete stranger, but equally, I don't think the relationship has got much past that surface level. I don't think this is somebody who you are necessarily in a relationship with right now. I just really feel as though this person hasn't been fully transparent. They haven't been fully honest. They haven't been vulnerable, because it's like they don't even know what their feelings are. They're feeling this something, this very strong something towards you, but they can't really make sense of it themselves. They don't really fully understand it. And it just makes them act out and sort of tease you and wind you up to try and get your attention. And maybe they just don't know that that's not the way to go about things. It's like they have a bit of a high schooly type vibe when it comes to expressing interest in the people they're interested in. Maybe this has worked for them in the past, but I think that's the thing as well. I think they're quite intrigued by you, because I'm getting the sense that that stuff doesn't work on you. Maybe you're now in the energy where you're like, you know, if somebody has feelings for me, they have to come and tell me, they have to be honest about that. I'm not kind of going to go chasing after them. I'm not going to engage in that sort of back and forth, messing around, playing games kind of stuff. That could be a thing as well. Like this person could like to play games. You could view them as a little bit of a player. You could view them as a bit of an F-boy or an F-girl. With this community card, I don't know why, because I never ever, like, I don't think I've ever said this phrase, but it's reminding me of like the phrase community male anatomy or community female anatomy. You could feel like this person is a little bit of a player and they do just get around the entire community in a physical way like that. And maybe that is quite off-putting to you, because if they have given you this indication that they're like attracted to you, it feels to you as though this is just purely physical, and you're thinking, well, they do this with everyone, so, you know, they're not making me feel special, like I don't just want to be one of the people who they sleep with or something like that. And when I say that, I don't want to shame anyone for engaging with a healthy sex life. I'm not judging anyone for having sex. You could be somebody who is celibate, who is abstinent, or who is asexual, and you don't sleep with anyone, you choose not to sleep with anyone, and that is absolutely fine. And equally, you could be somebody who has a lot of romantic partners, and that is also absolutely fine. Nobody is less valuable, nobody is less deserving of respect just because of who they sleep with or how many people they sleep with. I do not believe that for 1 second. However, I think it's more about the way people go about things, because unfortunately, sometimes people who play games use that physical side as a form of deception and a form of game playing, and that's where I think that the issue arises. It's not the actual sex or the amount of sex itself, it's nothing like that. As long as everyone knows where they stand, as long as everything is safe and everyone involved is a consenting adult, it's not an issue with how much sex you have or with how many people. It's more like the game playing element that I don't like. So if you aren't being upfront about just wanting a physical relationship, or you are lying to somebody about being monogamous to them whilst engaging with other people, I think that's when it becomes a problem. And maybe you feel as though this person could be a little bit like that, like they're a little bit of a game player and you don't want to get caught up in their games. So that's why, if that phrase is relevant to this person in some way, that could be the way you use it. It's not that you're judging them for having sex or anything like that. It's just that you're judging, maybe that they're the kind of person who would play games in order to get what they want in that way. And that's not really something that you approve of. I get the sense that this could be somebody with quite an avoidant attachment style, and maybe they have had people sort of fawning over them in the past. Maybe they have used sort of deceptive tactics in order to get what they want. Maybe they are somebody who is avoidant and they have had a lot of anxiously attached people in their life and relationships, and maybe there's always been this kind of like push and pull dynamic. Maybe this is somebody who thrives on that push and pull dynamic, but maybe that makes them intrigued by you, because if you have a more secure attachment style, or you have developed a secure attachment style over time, if that hasn't always been the case, maybe you are just not willing to play their little games with them. I mean, this could even be somebody, like, if you are friendly, this could be somebody who you have had like a little bit of a situationship with, or you have had like a friends with benefits situation. And maybe, they have had people in the past who have got like hooked because they're more avoidant and they've been with somebody who is like anxiously attached and kind of like clinging onto them in some way, but you're not like that. So maybe that's why they're kind of hooked on you, like the situation has flipped in some way and they're thinking about you like a lot more than what they thought they would, but they don't know how to be vulnerable, like they don't know how to express this to you, and it's just really frustrating. And I feel as well like this person, I think they do a lot of things to get your attention. So like with this community card, it might not necessarily be that they are sleeping with lots of people or something like that. Maybe they could have done in the past, but I think that like you are on their mind mostly at the moment, even if they aren't expressing this to you, which it seems like they're not. Even if they're dropping hints, they're not really like being outright and honest and vulnerable. They're not being like authentic with you. But it could be with this community card that they are doing things to get your attention, but this is just winding you up. Like, that it's to get your attention, and therefore you're kind of ignoring it. You're refusing to engage with them because you're thinking, well, if they want me like that, they can come out and tell me. Like, they don't have to do all these silly little games to get my attention. So this could be something like, on social media, they're the kind of person who you see popping up under every attractive person's picture. Or it could be like your friends' pictures, if they post a selfie or if they post a picture of themselves looking good. It's like you see this person putting like the flame emojis under their picture, and you're thinking like, you're thinking that it's actually giving you the ick, and that's putting you off them. Because you're like, if they're doing that to my friends, then clearly they're not interested in me that much, otherwise they wouldn't be doing that. But on their end, it's like they're doing it because they are interested in you, and they're going about it in the wrong way. They're trying to get your attention. They are thinking that if they do this stuff, then you will come to them and you will kind of chase after them, because maybe they're used to being chased and they want someone to chase them, and you're not doing it. And I feel like this is winding them up no end, because they're not used to that. Like, it's gonna come a point where they have to have a vulnerable conversation with you. And I just don't know if they're willing to do that yet. But trust me, you are what they are thinking about. I don't think they have ever had these kind of feelings before, and they don't really know what to do with them. Maybe they are a little bit younger than you or something like that, even if it's by a few years. I mean, our brains don't fully mature until we are like 25. So it could be that they are under 25 and they have sort of been in this like F-boy or F-girl energy, and they don't really know how to have an adult conversation about emotions. And even if you do get the sense that, they have deeper feelings for you, you're not willing to put yourself out there and be vulnerable for somebody who you feel could just turn out to be in that kind of player energy. You're not going to invest your time and your energy into that if you don't feel like there's going to be a sustainable outcome, is really what I'm getting. But I do think that there is some level of attraction for this person, especially, you know, if you have had like a friends with benefits situation. You are, at the very least, I think, like physically attracted to them, but I don't know if you can fully like see their potential, because I don't think they can see their potential if they're not showing up in this like more vulnerable and honest energy. It's like they do really see you as like, they put you on a pedestal, they see the potential in you, but I think you kind of scare them because they don't know if they can give you everything that you need, and they don't really know how to deal with their own emotions. So it's like kind of intimidating them a little bit, especially if they are in this more like avoidant energy. And I think regardless of whether like, you know, you're attracted to them or not, I think that's something you're not willing to put up with. You want your next partner to be somebody who, you know, actively invests in you and who makes the effort. And if this person's not doing that, then you're not really willing to engage. But if they are maybe willing to be a bit honest about where they're coming from and express that they have deeper feelings for you than just attraction, just physical or just surface level, then maybe you are feeling like this could be something, but ultimately they need to be the ones to take that step and to have an honest conversation with you. And I don't know if they're in the energy of being able to do that right now, but we're going to explore that a little bit more in the tarot portion of the reading. So we'll go on to that in just a moment. I said I might roll the astro dice in the intro, so I think I'll do that just to see if that can give us like any more clarity about who this person is, or like where you might have encountered them or something like that. Pile 1. Pile 1. Okay, so we have Taurus. We have Taurus. We have Uranus. We have Uranus. And we have the second house. We have the second house. So, pile 1, the thing about Taurus energy, and I say this lovingly as I am a Taurus moon, I have Taurus placements, so I can relate to this, but the thing about Taurus energy is Taurus can be extremely stubborn, and I feel like this person can be very stubborn when it comes to you. So it's like they could have this kind of hurricane of emotions whirling within when it comes to you, and maybe they don't fully know how to make sense of it. Maybe as well because, you know, like Taurus's natural home is the second house, and the second house is all about the material world. Maybe they're a little bit sort of disconnected from like water energy. Maybe they're kind of very grounded on like the physical plane. They're sort of focused on the material, on the physical, that kind of thing. And maybe that sort of made them a little bit disconnected from their emotions, like not fully able to explore that side of themselves. But I think they know that they have this sort of strong pull, whatever that may be, towards you. But it's like they're very stubborn when it comes to expressing that. And I think it comes down to, you know, what we were saying in the oracle with like this person wants you to chase them and you're not doing, but it's like both of you aren't giving in, like they're not giving in to you, you're not giving in to them. And I think sometimes they come very close to giving in, but it's like it's taking them a lot of strength in order to be able to remain stubborn, in order to like stick to not expressing themselves fully to you. I think sometimes they have wanted to, or they have gotten close, but again, they're very scared of being vulnerable. It could come back to this thing of like playing games a little bit, like wanting to be stubborn for the sake of playing a game and hoping that you will eventually give in to them. But I think a lot of it is fear, like they're scared of being vulnerable due to whatever has made them maybe more of an avoidant person or unwilling to put their feelings out there. It's like they have a lot of fear and they don't know what you will say, so they're scared to like sort of fully put themselves out there like that. So they just don't say anything. They remain quite stubborn about it, which is really frustrating. It could be that you see elements of this person's more sort of soft and like feminine side at times, especially if maybe you were like in a friends with benefits situation. Taurus is a very sensuous sign. It can be a very romantic sign. So it could feel as though, like, you know, if you had this friends with benefits situation, it could feel as though at times that got to like a more romantic place than just the physical. It could have been somebody who you are attracted to because they are very sensuous, like they really take care of you in that way if you have engaged with them in that way. Or if you haven't, they definitely want to take care of you in that way. Like they see you as somebody who is worthy of putting a lot of time in, of really investing in, even if they don't fully admit this to themselves, even if they can't really express this. It's like they see you as somebody who they could really build with. Maybe you bring that more sort of sensuous, stable side out of them, but they're quite uncomfortable with it, so they stick to this game playing, they retreat back into their avoidant tendencies because they don't really know what to do with that, and it is quite frustrating. With this second house, it could be that, you know, they are somebody who is at the moment more focused on the material. Maybe they are somebody who is quite or who comes across at first as like a little bit looks focused or something like that. They like to present themselves in a certain light. Maybe they like to wear sort of designer or more expensive clothing. Maybe their partners in the past have kind of like adhered to this standard that they have set for like themselves and other people. And it could be that maybe like you're not that type of person, like maybe you are more spiritual and more emotional and you don't care. You might like wearing nice clothes and I'm sure you do look very attractive, but it's like maybe you're not solely focused on that as much as they are. So maybe they therefore see you as like not their usual type, so they just don't understand why they're so fascinated by you, but they really are quite fascinated by you. They're quite pulled towards you. And I think with this Uranus as well, it's like because you are different, because you're not what they expected, you are something unexpected that they didn't expect to be so drawn to, you're something that they've never experienced before. That is what I'm getting with the Uranus as well. It's like Aquarius energy. It's something that's very unique about you and they don't maybe fully understand it, but they're just very pulled to you and very drawn to you. And I think sometimes, again, like if it's the unknown, which a lot of Uranus energy is, it's like, you know, the inventor, it's like things that have never been done before. Maybe you're something that they have never done before. I don't mean it like that. I mean, that could be the case. And, you know, they're sort of very fascinated on you in that sensual, like Taurus way. But equally, it could just be that you're not the type of person who they have ever been with before, and that kind of scares them. It kind of intimidates them because we can often be quite fearful of the things that, you know, we don't fully understand. And it's like that they don't fully understand you. And it intimidates them, but it also draws them in. Maybe they are used to being with partners who are more anxious and more clingy and more demanding of their time and energy, but because you are maybe more independent, you're more free spirited, and you're not going to like bow down to their games that they're trying to play, it could be that scares them a little bit because they want to get you, but they're kind of thinking like, well, you know, my usual games aren't working, so how do I even go about this? And yeah, it kind of startles them a bit. It kind of makes them reflect on like how they should approach you and like whether they need to, you know, maybe approach you in a more vulnerable way. But for some reason, they're just not doing it at this current moment in time. But they do have very, very strong feelings for you. And I think the feelings just like haven't been explored in that way yet. But it's like they keep being drawn back to you, but they're just not. They're too stubborn to say anything. They're kind of too stubborn to do anything about it, which is quite frustrating because equally, like, you're not going to chase them either. And if they're not showing up for you in that more authentic way, then you don't want anything to do with them either. So, you know, they're the ones losing out if they're not willing to sort of talk to you, communicate with you in that way. But yeah, with that said, that is the oracle portion of the reading, and that is the astro dice portion of the reading. We are now just going to move on and see which tarot cards we've pulled for you. So please bear with me, Pile 1, and I'll see you in the tarot reading. Hi, Pile 1. Welcome back to the tarot portion of your reading. Without hesitation, let's just get straight into it and have a look at the cards that you got. Okay, Pile 1. So we've got 4 of Cups. We've got the 5 of Swords. We've got the Queen of Cups in reverse. We've got the Nine of Wands. We've got Justice. We've got the Eight of Cups. We've got the Ten of Cups. And we've got the Two of Cups. Okay, I'm just going to check that all the cards are in frame. Please bear with me, pile one. Okay, pile one. This person is so annoying. This person is frustrating me. So I can't imagine how you feel because I'm getting annoyed and this isn't even my reading. But this person, they can see your potential. This is the annoying thing about it. This person, I think, can really see that you could be something. And I think this person is longing for something more than what they're letting on. It's like with this Ten of Cups, they see you as being somebody who could be their fulfillment, like you could be their everything. They could really have a happy home with you. They could find fulfillment, emotional satisfaction. Like the Ten of Cups is truly a beautiful card to show up in a love reading. And this situation, you know, it has all the potential for becoming something more, but it's like this person is almost cock blocking themselves. Like that's what I want to say with their behavior, and it is so incredibly frustrating. Like with this Ten of Cups, I think they truly are longing for like having a more grown up relationship if that's not something they've had before. It's like they're longing for this energy of creating a happy home, a stable family. And I don't necessarily mean like they just like want to have kids with you straight away or get married or move in. Like if you're not at those stages in your life where that is an option for you, or if you're not ready for that yet, it doesn't have to be that. It could just be like they are used to having situationships and that's what they think they want. But deep down, they are actually longing for more of this commitment, more of this Ten of Cups energy, like an actual, genuine, stable relationship based on intimacy. It's like they're craving this intimacy, but they just do not know how to go about accessing it, and they feel quite fearful of it because maybe it's not something they've had before. And this person, I think, likes to be comfortable, and they are not altogether comfortable with emotional intimacy. With this Eight of Cups, I feel as though this is a person who, like we said in the oracle reading, can be quite avoidant. And I think in situations before where they've been in like relationships or when they've had romantic interactions with people, I think they have been the type of person to just leave the situation when something gets tough or when something gets like a little bit deeper than surface level. It's like they've abandoned ship, they've left that situation. But what is incredibly frustrating about this is this person has a lot of desires deep down for a more intimate romantic relationship. With the Ten of Cups and the Two of Cups, it's like this person really does have a lot of respect for you. Like not only are they incredibly attracted to you physically, they see you as genuinely like having a deeper bond with them. They see you as somebody who could be like their teammate, like somebody who you just so totally understand each other. If you do have that kind of more playful and bantery relationship and it hasn't got that serious yet, it's like they could see the potential for that. It's like, oh, this person is just so on my level. The way they communicate, their humor is the same as mine. They are like my match, like I've met my match kind of thing. I could really see myself teaming up and building something with this person, with this Ten of Cups. But again, it's like you are that blessing for them, but they're blocking their blessings with their own behavior. And I think like a part of them is a little bit, they deeply like secretly crave for this Ten of Cups, but maybe they're, because they're quite reluctant to be vulnerable, I think sometimes they even struggle admitting that to themselves and being vulnerable with themselves. And maybe they convince themselves that they don't want that, or they just try not to think about it. They try to avoid it with this Eight of Cups, or they don't tell anyone that that's what they want. Maybe they approach the world in like a very blasé or like nonchalant sort of fashion, but secretly they are chalanting very hard over you. They are seeing you as like all of this and a bag of chips, but they are not acting on it. They are avoiding their own feelings and not admitting that, you know, maybe they want more. Maybe you see this person as somebody who approaches the world as, you know, approaching everything in a very physical way. they have approached you in this very like playful, flirty, bantery energy, but it hasn't got much deeper than that. And it's like they won't admit that they want it to go deeper than that. Maybe even to their friendship circle, they act like, you know, they're just in it with, they just approach relationships with like the idea of accessing that relationship for just one night, like having something short term. But it's like deep down they do crave more than that. But it's like they're engaging with these people who they know eventually they will have to cut that situation short. They are engaging with a lot of Queen of Cups in reverse energy kind of people. So it's like if this person who's interested in you is avoidant, they're purposely sort of gravitating towards people who are anxiously attached, and that has forced them into a situation where they've had to end relationships, they've had to cut things off quite quickly with these people because these people are quite insecure, quite clingy, quite needy, and they are quite put off by that. But it's like when they're faced with, you know, somebody like you who is maybe you've become more securely attached and you're not in the Queen of Cups reverse energy, you are like a Queen of Cups upright. It's like they don't know what to do with it because they've never had that before. And they're the kind of thinking like, oh, like I can't play my usual little games with Pile 1 because they're not a Queen of Cups reverse. They're not somebody who's insecure, who's dependent on me, who's too needy. So I can't even play them like that, essentially. And this scares them because then it's like, well, that's the thing that I usually do and that's what usually works. That's how I get people on my hook. And I can't do that with Pile 1. So what should I do? Well, I guess I'll just avoid it and I'll just keep going for these Queen of Cups in reverse energy type people. It could be that they're the kind of person who, you know, kind of needs validation from others, and maybe this kind of leads them into this game playing mentality and sort of trying to wind people up in that way. And maybe their previous partners, they've sort of been like a little bit manipulative, trying to wind their partner up. And, you know, maybe when they've been like talking to somebody in a romantic way, or they've been going on a few dates or something, maybe their own sort of avoidant tendencies have come out, and maybe their need for validation has come out, their own insecurities, and they've said something to that person to kind of tease them a little bit, like, oh, I'm going on a date with somebody else, what do you think of that? Or they've just dropped something in conversation with the intention of getting a reaction out of that person. And maybe the type of people who they're used to dealing with in a romantic way, maybe they're like, well, I don't want you to go on this date and blah, blah, blah. And then they turn around and call that person, you know, like controlling or too clingy. And then they end it with this person because they feel like this person's being too much. Even though they put that person in that situation by trying to wind them up, they purposely wanted a reaction out of that person. And that person's reaction, that person sort of kicking off and saying like, well, no, you're not going on this date because XYZ, that provided them with an opportunity to not get too close to that person. They were like, oh, they're being too much, like I'm going to end it. It sort of gave them a way out, an excuse, even though they sort of manufactured that situation with their own behavior. And it's like they want to do that with you. There's this sort of very push and pull dynamic. One minute you might feel as though they are on the verge of being more open with you, more vulnerable and more honest, and you think you're going to have a more intimate conversation. And then the next minute they might do the same thing with you. They might slip in like, oh, I'm going on a date with XYZ, like, oh, this person is so hot, what do you think of that? Or something like that. And I feel like you don't rise to it. That is the thing. That is the thing that both intrigues them and worries them. It scares them because they are not used to that. They are used to getting reactions out of people. They are used to people, you know, chasing them, and you're not willing to do that. You kind of play them at their own game. So if they say something to you like, I'm going on a date with XYZ, you're like, oh, good for you, what are you wearing? Like, I'm going on a date next week too. And then that just winds them up. And as well with this Five of Swords, it could be that they argue a little bit with you and you're like, why are you in such a bad mood? But I think it's sometimes because like you play them at their own game and then it backfires. So let's use that date example of them saying, I'm going on a date with such a body, and you saying back, well, I'm going on a date with such a body. It's like the next day they'll be a bit off with you, or they'll tease you a bit more, or they'll try to wind you up a bit more, or they just come across as a bit more hostile than usual. And you're like, what is wrong with you? Like, did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed? But it's because that they are put out that you played them at their own game. Like, I just find this really funny. Like, I don't know why, but it's like, yeah, this person has sort of met their match with you, and you're just not going to tolerate their games. I feel like in a lot of this person's previous relationships, they've been able to show up in this Four of Cups energy where they aren't making much effort with the people they're in a partnership with. They're quite indifferent and, again, like quite nonchalant. And I feel like that's the energy they always show up in, and they expect that to work because, unfortunately, they've dealt with a lot of this, like these Queen of Cups in reverse people. And, you know, these people have chased them, and that's just what they've come to expect, and you're not willing to do that. So it's kind of getting them out of this like stagnant and indifferent energy, but it's also scaring them. And again, with that stubbornness, with that like Taurian energy, that stubbornness, they're sort of trying to sit back and play this indifferent game, like who can be the most nonchalant, and you're just not engaging with that, and it is winding them up. It is, you know, bringing about this Five of Swords energy where it's making them a bit argumentative because they are trying so hard to kind of get a reaction out of you, but it's all because they can't acknowledge their own deeper need for intimacy. Like, nobody has sort of got them in this way, the way that you have, and I feel like they're just not used to that. They're used to having people come towards them, approach them, chase them, and you're just not willing to do it, and they hate it. They hate it so much, but it's like they could change this situation by, you know, not trying to play these games and trying to be a bit more vulnerable. But I just don't know if they're willing to do that in this current energy. With this Nine of Wands, I feel like they are kind of going to persist in this energy, but it could be that also they think of you as somebody who is very worthy of persistence. And if they are like quite a physically attractive person, or if they have been in this player energy, or if they have been able to sort of snap their fingers and get what they want due to being physically attractive, it's like they're partially wound up because they're like, usually people just come to me so easily and I get what I want, and blah, 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 but you're not giving them that. So it's like they see you as worthy of persistence in that way. This person could be a little bit of a toxic person at times. They could be, and I think it's due to immaturity, but I think they could be a person who does see relationships as a little bit transactional. And like, I think it would be difficult to have a secure relationship with this person straight away, because I think they are quite damaged from their past, and that is why they are avoidant. I think they are quite hurt, and even though they do long for this Ten of Cups and this Two of Cups, this union, this happy home, it's like I don't know whether they're in the energy of being able to fully acknowledge that to themselves yet, or to other people, and that could be something that works to their detriment, because at the end of the day, you're not willing to deal with anybody who, you know, can't match you in your energy and can't show up securely in a relationship. It's like if they were in a secure relationship, they might get bored quite quickly. It's like they're sort of romanticizing this idea with you, but I think it's because they can't have you. And that can be like a little bit toxic, because it might make you think, okay, well, how are they going to act like once they actually do have me? If I kind of give in and show my feelings, if I show my hand as though it's like a card game or something, you know, what will they sort of give up on me then? Will they then get bored? Because this person can be a bit like that. I feel as though they do have a lot of growing up to do, and maybe they're just not quite there yet. But nevertheless, they still want you. They still think of a lot of you. They want to make you their Valentine, but they're just not saying it. And at the end of the day, you deserve way more than that. You don't deserve to be with somebody who is in that energy. If you have done your work, if you have been able to establish more secure connections with people, you don't have to give in to this person. You don't have to engage with them. They're pretty obsessed with you though. Like, if you just wanted confirmation, because sometimes it feels like there's this very push and pull and you're not sure how they feel if they're still in like this player energy. Trust me, they do think of you. They are like pretty hooked on you. They're pretty obsessed with you, and they do think about you a lot. So if you just wanted confirmation on that, if that's something you were worried about, this is your confirmation. I will say, like, with this justice card as well, and I'm looking at this little raccoon and he's like showing up with his scales and his sword and sort of giving these puppy dog eyes. And I feel like this is this person, like they're sort of showing up with these scales and they're wanting you to see that vulnerable side of them, because I think they know as well that you just see them as like this player or F-boy or F-girl energy, and they really want to change your mind on that. And maybe this is it with the Nine of Wands. Maybe they're trying to persist in showing you that they are not in this energy or they no longer want to be in this energy. But it's like they're doing themselves an injustice because they keep showing up with these old toxic behaviors of like trying to wind you up and trying to get a reaction out of you. And then they're turning around in the same breath and being like, oh, but I do like you, but it is more than physical, but I do want this. And it's like, yeah, but you're not showing it. Like, you're not consistent with that energy. You kind of go back and forth. And it's like, if they're doing something like, you know, liking other people's pictures or putting like flame emojis or heart eyes on other people's pictures, like friends of yours, just to get your attention or something like that. It's like they'll do something like that to try and get a reaction, and then they wonder why you're not engaging with them, why you're not willing to pursue something on a deeper level, because you don't want to be vulnerable with somebody who participates in those kind of damaging behaviors. You don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who's quite immature like that. But then they're giving you these puppy dog eyes and saying like they have moments of maybe like little moments of sentimentality, of vulnerability, where you're like, oh, like this person actually is, you know, a bit more sentimental than what I thought. But then they just ruin it with some of their behaviors, and that puts you off. Like, you find it quite unattractive. Again, you don't want somebody who's like trying to give themselves to the whole community, like they're liking everyone's picture and they're not treating you as the unique and special person that you are. It's like this person's coming and saying like, oh no, like it's not fair that you think of me in this way. Like, they don't think it's fair that you see them as a player, but meanwhile they're acting like a player. So what do they expect? That is what I am getting for you, Pal One. I'm sorry that this reading was a little bit frustrating, but I do hope that it resonated. If you did just want confirmation that this person is thinking of you, that they secretly admire you, that they want to make you their Valentine, then this is that confirmation. I think we will just finish with a little bit of closing advice from the Guardian Angel Oracle deck, so please bear with me. Okay, Pal One, let's look at the advice that you got. If I can pick this card up, we got prayer. Dear Guardian Angel, help me to believe that all is possible through love. Help me manifest my dreams and live an inspiring and fulfilling life. Help me to feel God's presence in every moment. Help me feel eternally loved. Thank you for being always by my side. So I think this closing advice, on the one hand, I feel like prayer makes sense because it's like, yep, with this person, Pal One, I think you need us to pray for you because it sounds like they're a little bit of hard work. But on a serious note, I think this is encouraging you to really focus on yourself and your self-development. And I think this is reminding you that you are protected, you are very much being looked after. And if there is blockages in the way of this connection, and if this other person is kind of putting those blockages there, it's for a reason that you are being protected from their negative energy. And it's telling you to sort of not get too caught up in that. If they are not willing to meet you in the middle and approach you in the same energy that you're willing to approach them with, then it says more about them than you, and you do not have to stoop to their level. You do not have to play the same games as them. At the end of the day, even if you're like attracted to this person, if you can't see it working out in terms of a stable relationship, it's like trust your intuition with that and focus on your own dreams, on manifesting your own desires, on living a life that aligns with you. Don't stoop to their level by getting involved in their silly little games. If that doesn't reflect who you are on like a soul level, then please don't get involved with that. If you know you are better than that, don't stoop to their level. Just continue doing what you're doing and don't go chasing them if, you know, they're not showing up for you in the way that they need to. But I think this is very much saying that you are loved, you are protected, and that whatever, entity you believe in, whatever religion you follow, or if you don't follow a religion, if you're just spiritual and you believe in something, the universe or whatever, you are being divinely protected. So that is what I am getting with this prayer card, and I hope that was helpful closing advice. Thank you so much for listening, Pile 1. I really hope you enjoyed this. If you were called to any other pile, then please feel free to watch another pile, but that is where I am going to close your reading for now. If you enjoyed this, please like the video, please leave me a comment, and please, if at all possible, subscribe. That would all mean the absolute world to me. But thank you very much for listening, and take care, Pile 1. I'll see you in the next one. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this black crystal heart, and you chose Pile 2, this will be your reading. So this reading is who wants to make you their Valentine, who is your secret admirer, and why are they admiring you. If you want any further information regarding what this reading will entail, then please check out the introduction. But if you just want me to get straight into the reading, we're about to do that, so please stay tuned. If you enjoy this reading and if you like my style of content, it would mean the absolute world to me if you could please like the video, please comment, and please subscribe. I do notice every single like, every single comment, and every single subscriber, so please do that if you haven't already. And if you have, thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. And without hesitation, let's get into this reading, Pile 2. Okay, Pile 2, so we have got commitment, we have got endings, and we have got find the light. And just let me check that all the cards are in frame, please bear with me. Okay, so I do just want to point out that this commitment card, I did notice that it came out in reverse. Now with oracle cards, I don't tend to take reversals just because depending on the context of the reading, regardless of whether a card comes up upright or in reverse, we kind of cover all of the meanings in relation to the context of the reading. So sometimes I don't always think it's necessary to say this came out in reverse. However, I did find it interesting because none of the other cards in this oracle deck seem to be in reverse, and it's just something I noticed, so I did want to mention it. And especially given the endings showing up as well, with endings showing up and commitment coming up in reverse, it makes me feel like you might be dealing with somebody who has recently ended something. Maybe you have recently ended a relationship, or somebody has recently ended a relationship with you, and maybe this is regarding them, so the commitment has ended for that reason, or maybe somebody's commitment to someone or something else has ended or is in the process of ending is what I'm getting. Now, I really do try my best not to channel exes because I know you probably don't want to hear about that, and I don't think this pile necessarily has to be an ex. With the Find the Light card, I'm thinking more of this person who you're dealing with having been in a difficult situation, potentially ending a relationship, or just going through some sort of period of ending something in their life. Just a potential difficult time, like having to move or ending a job or something like that. This is how you might know who this person is if I say that. But I get the sense with the Find the Light that they really see you as this source of light and comfort. Maybe you have really been helping this person through this difficult time in their life, the ending that they have encountered. And maybe this kind of attraction has developed between the two of you, but it's been quite difficult to explore, with the commitment coming up in reverse. Maybe if this person has recently got out of a relationship or is in the process of ending a relationship, they can't therefore commit to you. It's like they can't go wholeheartedly into this connection with you because they're still dealing with somebody. Maybe they're trying to cut this situation off with this other person, or potentially if they've ended something and it's been quite difficult emotionally, it could be that they're just not ready to jump into a commitment. And again, that kind of puts you in a difficult situation because there's all these feelings. I don't know whether they've been expressed or not. We'll have to find out about that. Maybe when we look into the tarot portion, more of that will come through. But if you know that there are kind of established feelings, but a proper commitment hasn't been able to be made yet due to one of these reasons, then this is confirmation that you've picked the correct pile. Or if you are currently in a connection with somebody and you know maybe it's an established friendship and you get on, but you know that they are in the midst of going through some kind of ending. This could be like a divorce or separation of some kind. Or if it's not a person, it could just be something in their life that they need to kind of end, they need to get a hold of before they are able to fully commit to the connection with you. So maybe it's like you have this friendship, this bond with this person, you have had intimate conversations. It's like you've been a confidant to them in some way if they are going through this difficult situation. Maybe they've spoken to you about a kind of relationship ending, like the breakdown of their relationship. Maybe they've been vulnerable with you, they've been talking to you quite openly about that. You have been aware this is going on. So maybe there's some reluctance on your end if you know about all that. You don't want to be a source of anxiety for them. So maybe you're not admitting your feelings for them directly because you don't want them to feel like they're being put in a position of like they're dealing with all this other stuff, and then you come in and surprise them with these big feelings and you put them in like an awkward position in that way. I think this person feels the same way about you and is maybe like struggling to voice that to you because they also feel as though like they've opened up about all these things with you. They've seen you as a friend, as a confidant. And if they are dealing with like a difficult ending, let's say if it is like a kind of divorce or something like that, and there's like a legal situation involved, or there's children involved, or something like that, it's like they don't want to put you in the situation where you're dealing with that. They already feel as though they've put quite a lot on you, and maybe they don't want to put extra pressure on you in that way, or something like that. So yeah, it could be that you've never actually been in a romantic situation with this person before, but potentially either one of you could have been in, this romantic situation with somebody else and that has recently ended or is in the process of ending. Maybe it's even you who's been in the romantic situation and your relationship has recently ended. Maybe somebody has been your confidant. And if somebody has been that source of comfort for you, that sort of sounding board, then, this is somebody who could potentially have very strong feelings for you and hasn't voiced this yet. This could be somebody who has developed feelings for you through those intimate conversations, through you being vulnerable in that way. But maybe they just don't feel as though they can cross that barrier of being in a commitment with you because there's just too much going on in your life, in their life, or in both of your lives. It could just be that you have been through recently a lot of hardship in some way, and maybe both of you feel as though you don't want to put too much on each other's plates. You don't want to put too much pressure on each other to make this like a thing, and maybe there's just some reason that's preventing you from being together. There's something that's stopping you from being together, some kind of barrier. But I don't think that the feelings are unrequited. I think if these feelings haven't been expressed, then you are both feeling this connection, you are both wanting something to happen, but it's like for whatever reason, it feels as though it can't, like the commitment is limited in some way, you can't get past this barrier at this current stage. And if you have expressed feelings for each other, it's like you want more from each other. You want to kind of go all in, but for some reason you can't. And it could be, if they are still dealing with another situation, or you are still dealing with another situation, your relationship with somebody is breaking down and you are in the process of ending it, you're in the process of like moving out or, establishing custody of children or things like that. It could be that that is kind of getting in the way of this connection and it's sort of preventing the two of you from coming together, even though it's something that you both really want. If this is an ex, if this is somebody who you've been in a romantic relationship with before, and I'm getting the sense that for most people that's not the case, but if that is the case for you, I don't think it was like anyone's fault that this ended, and that's how you'll know that it's for you. I don't think it was anything to do with like a person cheating or lying or something like that. I don't think it's to do with anyone betraying you. So if you have had an ex that's betrayed you in that way, then I'm not talking about them. But this could be somebody who like you were in a commitment with and life circumstances just got in the way and you were not able to offer each other some kind of full commitment. So this could be something like somebody moving for a job, one of you moving to the other side of the country or the other side of the world for a job. So maybe like the connection that you had to be cut short, or it had to be kept casual in that sense, because you know that even though you were like falling for each other, you couldn't fully commit to that situation. It's like you both couldn't give your all to the situation because you knew that it would have to come to an end due to this like barrier, this unavoidable circumstance, something like that. That is what I am getting for your reading so far, pile 2. We will just roll the astro dice to get a little bit more confirmation of this energy, so please bear with me. Pile 2. Okay, pile 2. So we've got Venus. We have got Libra. And we have got the 12th house. Okay, so with this 12th house, this is where the sort of frustration comes in with this connection, because this is indicating that there are a lot of hidden feelings. So again, if this is something that's, recently had to end due to a situation that was out of you and your partner's control, such as like a work opportunity on the other side of the world, it's like both of you aren't fully telling each other the extent to which you feel very strongly about each other with this Venus showing up, but we'll go on to that in a minute. But you do feel very strongly for each other, but it's like there are a lot of hidden feelings here, because the 12th house is all about the subconscious. It's what is hidden, and it's frustrating because you might both feel this way, but both of you might have in your heads, right, well, we knew what this was. It had to be kept as a casual thing. It had to be kept as something that couldn't really go past a certain point. So I'm not going to express just how much I've become attached to this person, how much I like this person, because we both knew that it had to end and there's nothing that we can do about the situation. It reminds me of kind of like these like star-crossed lovers, or like maybe long distance or something like that. Two people who should be together, but for whatever reason they can't be together. So this could also be the case, like we were saying in your oracle reading, that one or both of you is in the process of ending a relationship with somebody else, or maybe you have recently ended a situation with somebody else, but it feels as though a certain part of this connection still has to be kept hidden. Like maybe you or your person is scared of like jumping into a relationship with somebody else because you have only recently got out of a relationship, and maybe you're hurt, you don't want to jump straight back into it. Maybe this person is hurt and they just don't want to, well, it's like a part of them does want to rush things with you because they see a lot of potential in this connection with you, but it's like for some reason there's something holding them back. It could be, if this is in relation to like some kind of legal custody or like a divorce, a separation, something that's a bit more official than just like somebody breaking up. It could be that they don't want to be seen as like being the type of person who jumps into relationship after relationship, because maybe they have an ex in their life who would sort of hang that over their head, like if they have kids with this person, and this person from an outside perspective, they don't want to seem like the type of person who just jumps into relationship after relationship. They don't like the repercussions that could have in like a legal sense, maybe. If there's like court involved in any way, doesn't have to be the case, but just something like that. They don't want to be seen as like a bad person, because I really don't think they are. In whatever situation they've been in, maybe they have tried to make it work and it hasn't. Maybe they have jumped into a relationship before and that's what's preventing them sort of going in straight with you. Maybe if they've committed to someone too quickly before, this is what's scaring them off committing to you too quickly, if that situation like ended badly in some way. So it could be that something like that is putting them off. Even though they see so much potential with you, they really do see the potential of this connection, and it's like there's just something that's keeping the two of you being together in that way fully. And it is a little bit annoying because they do absolutely want to make you their Valentine, but they're just unable to sort of fully give you everything that they want to give you, because I think that they do want to give you a lot. They want to be quite generous with you, with this Libra showing up. I really do feel as though they see so much potential with you. I know I keep saying that, but it's like Libra and Venus, you know, they go together. Venus is Libra's natural home. So it's like the two of you just make sense. You have this connection and you make sense. You get along so well. You are in harmony with one another. You see each other as equals. There is a lot of mutual respect. This person might really like you because they see you as like diplomatic. They see you as non-judgmental. They see you as very charming and also very beautiful, because Libras often are, you know, incredibly beautiful from an aesthetic perspective. So, you know, you could have Libra placements. This could be your rising sign or something like that. They kind of see everything with you. They would see it as being a very healthy relationship dynamic, but it's like there's something maybe holding them back. So in the situation where this person perhaps feels like they have rushed into things too quickly in the past and that is making them hold back, it could be that, you know, they see that the two of you get along so well, and this could be a real, true, genuine, trustworthy partnership, because, you know, Venus, it rules the 7th house of partnerships, and Libra's natural home is the 7th house. So it is all about relationships and about harmony. You could have established a really healthy friendship with this person, and they just know that you would be a good partner. You would work together very well, but it's like there is something holding them back. And with Libra, like on the shadow side of Libra, it can be associated with like gossip. So this could be like, if it's not something to do with courts or something to do with like the legal system, it could just be that this person is concerned about truly stepping into this connection fully due to like other people's gossip, due to rumors, which again is quite frustrating. Maybe if this relationship is like a little taboo in some way, maybe it's like scared of the repercussions of the two of you being together publicly. It's like it has to be kept secret. You have to meet up in secret or something like that. Oh, it definitely feels like very like Romeo and Juliet vibes. I mean, I don't want to say that because with this like endings card, like I'm not saying I don't think it's going to end like that, but it does have those kind of vibes of like something is forbidden. But I don't think it's like, I don't think it's a case of somebody like cheating on somebody or anything like that, doing anything toxic. I think it's just like other influences that are being put on you and this person. It's like there's just something stopping you from being together, or something has to end fully in order for the two of you to be together. But yeah, it could be something like taboo about the relationship. Maybe it's like a sexuality thing. Maybe the two of you, maybe if you are a man who is in a relationship with another man, or if you are a woman who's in a relationship with another woman, maybe if one or both of you hasn't fully come forward and been open about your sexuality, like if you're gay or bi or pan or something like that, it could be that you can't go out together publicly in that way because you're scared of like family repercussions or something like that if you're not out to your families. Or it could be that like you are together, but again, it has to be kept like secret. Maybe you're sort of wanting this other person if they are the problem. And I don't want to say problem as in like if they are literally in a situation where they can't tell their family, if they are in a country that doesn't support that, or if they will be putting themselves in danger by admitting that they are gay or bi or something, then I completely understand. Like, I'm not saying that they are the problem, but if the problem is like due to their situation, it's frustrating because it feels quite restrictive. It feels like there's not much that you can do about it, but it's like you both see the potential in each other and you want this relationship to go further. So maybe it is that you are, you know, for all intents and purposes, dating, like you are in a relationship, you're intimate, you're emotionally connected, like everything is good, but it's just that you can't tell other people. And that feels as though something is cut off from you in a way, because maybe you go to like family parties and your siblings bring their other half, and you know they can really be part of the family, and they are doing things like getting married and moving in together and having kids or something. It feels like they're progressing, and it feels like you can't have access to that because of this situation that's restricting you. So it could be that. I don't know why that came through just so strongly now, but that's just what I keep thinking with like the secrets. It's like something that has to be kept hidden in some way in this connection, and obviously it's going to be different for every single person. But yeah, I do get there is like definitely a very strong pull towards each other here, but it's like there's something stopping you from fully connecting, and it's very frustrating for both of you because I think deep down both of you really do want this connection to work. You want more, you want the commitment, but it's like there's just something blocking it. So we're going to move on to the tarot portion of this reading, pal 2, and we're going to look into a little bit more of this energy. This will be further confirmation for you of who this is, who wants to make you their Valentine, but also we are going to try and see like what is blocking this person, what is stopping them from fully coming towards you and fully embracing this connection. Okay, pal 2, so please bear with me. Hi pal 2, welcome to the tarot portion of your reading. Let's just get straight back into it and have a look at what you've got. So pal 2, you have got the 2 of Swords. You've got the 6 of Cups. You've got the 5 of Wands reversed. You've got the Hierophant. You've got the Empress. You've got the King of Cups. You've got the King of Wands. You've got the 2 of Cups. You've got the Queen of Wands. And you've got the 8 of Wands. Let me just check that all the cards are in frame, pal 2. Please bear with me. Okay, pal 2. So what I am getting, these cards are definitely confirming the energy that we spoke about in your oracle reading. And again, there is going to be like a little bit of frustration surrounding this circumstance because this person's feelings don't match their actions, but it feels like the two of you, with this 2 of Swords, it's like you're at this stalemate. It feels like there's nowhere really to go in this situation. It feels like something that's out of your control. And let's just use the example of like, let's say, you know, you and this person have said, we need to keep things casual because you're going to be moving at the end of this month, you're going to be getting this job elsewhere in the country or the world, and we're not going to be able to be together, and I can't do long distance, so, you know, let's just keep it casual. And it's like both of you have agreed to that situation, you know that this has to end in some way, but you both are experiencing these deeper feelings. You didn't expect to get so attached to this person, they didn't expect to get so attached to you, but it's like you're at this stalemate because neither of you are maybe able to fully admit that, you know, neither of you are maybe being fully honest with each other. So with this 2 of Swords, it reminds me of like 2 people, you know, like I said, they've agreed to be casual, and it's getting more towards the date where this person has to leave, and neither of you are wanting to come in with this big confession of feelings. You're not wanting to like show your hand. I think we said that a little bit in pile 1 as well. So you might have messages in there, but it's like neither of you are wanting to show your hand, and you're both kind of in this energy of, you know, this person saying, so yeah, like just a reminder, I'm moving at the end of the month. What do you think of that? And you're like, yeah, well, we always knew it was going to be casual. That's that. And they're like, yeah. And you're like, yeah. And you're both looking at each other and you both know that there are deeper feelings. You both know that you don't want it to end, but you're just not saying it. You're just looking at each other like, yeah, shrug, like that's just the way it is. You're trying to be nonchalant about it, but both of you do have a lot of deeper feelings. And if you're doubting that this person has feelings for you, this person that I'm talking about, then they absolutely do. Like with this King of Cups, they are honestly devoted to you, like you are their focus. A part of them just wants to come towards you and spill all these emotions, tell you how they really feel, but it's like they're just not able to, which is really unfortunate, but they do feel quite vulnerable with you. It's like, basically, they're not focused on anyone else. I will say that they are very devoted to this thing with you, and it might not feel that way. Like if you have both kind of had to put up boundaries or had to put up walls due to a situation that's out of your control, if you have thought like, well, you know, maybe they don't want to be with me because they think that something better will come along, or they're just non-committal, or such and such a thing, I don't think that is the case. I think they are very frustrated themselves that due to this situation that's out of your control, like you can't fully be together in that way, and it's making them hold back. And they're not able to express their emotions, like the depth of their emotions that they're having towards you. We also got the Two of Cups showing up in the first pile. So again, like if you think you might have messages in there, if you were drawn to that pile, go and check that out. But if not, no worries. But with this Two of Cups, they again see this, that they could have this beautiful union with you. They see that you could really be something, you could be each other's equals. And it's so crazy to me as well that the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands has shown up. It's like you match each other perfectly. There is this real sense of harmony, of balance. And that reminds me of the Libra that we got with the Astro dice as well. It's like you are each other's perfect match, but there's just something stopping you being together. And only you know what this is, pal two. Like, obviously, it's going to be different for every single person. As I said, this could very well be like they have recently got out of a situation with somebody, or they are in the process of getting out of that situation, so you're not able to be together openly. It could be, like we said, due to a sexuality thing and being open about that. With this like rainbow, we're getting like a couple of like rainbow think like rainbow lollipops here and a rainbow kite showing up. So that is just like confirmation of what I'm thinking with the sexuality thing as well, that it could be to do with that, like an inability to be fully open. So maybe like even if you are in a kind of commitment with this person or a situationship, maybe you're not like able to take it to that next level due to an inability to be open with the people in your lives. Like maybe you couldn't live with this person. If it's like a sexuality thing and you think that, you know, your family would not be happy with that situation, it's like you can't take it to that next level. You can't move in with them. You can't get married. You can't start planning a family because of this influence from external sources, what their friends or family would think. I mean, I guess you could live with them and just say that you're roommates, like, and they were roommates, like those kind of vibes. But I don't think you want that. I think the both of you want a genuine, authentic relationship that you can talk about. Because it's like this person, they do. If you're thinking like, oh, like this person, you know, they're sort of ashamed of me, like it has to be kept a secret. Maybe they don't think that I'm worthy of them. It is not that at all. I'm seeing like with this King of Wands and this Queen of Wands, they very much do think you're worthy. If anything, they're putting you on a pedestal. Like they're very proud to be with you. They want to be seen with you, they want to talk about you, but it's like something's holding them back. It's like this big part of them with the Eight of Wands wants to go like full steam ahead, wants to go charging into this connection, wants to just like lay all their cards out on the table, tell you how they feel, really jump into it head first. But again, like there's this barrier, they can't do that for whatever reason, and this is frustrating the both of you. It is very difficult to come to terms with, because you are both feeling such a strong connection. They honestly would be very proud to call you theirs, to have you on their arm. Like with this Queen of Wands, they see you as somebody who could potentially like get on well with their family, the people in their lives. They see you as charismatic, as somebody who's passionate, you know, independent, a go-getter. They see themselves as a leader and you as a leader also. It feels as though it's like it could be given power couple vibes or something like that. But again, there's something stopping them. So let's say it is this sexuality thing, them not being able to be open with their family if their family are disapproving or something like that. Again, if that doesn't resonate, like don't worry, it doesn't have to. You could be in a straight or heterosexual relationship and this could still apply in some way, but I'm just using that as an example because I know that there are unfortunately still a lot of people who deal with judgments in that way. So it could be that, like, you know, your person sees you as this Queen of Wands, somebody who they are very lucky to call theirs, somebody who they would love to show off, but the views of their family are getting in the way. So they're thinking like, oh, if only we were in a straight relationship, I'd be able to introduce this person to my family, no problem. Like I'd be able to show them off and do all this, but it's like they can't, like there's something just stopping them. It could be like maybe it's not their family, it could be that they're not fully comfortable with their own sexuality, so that is a bit of a source of anxiety and worry for them, and maybe that's stopping them from stepping into like a true, more intimate connection with you. Even though part of them just wants to dive into it head first with this Eight of Wands, that's what they want to do deep down, but it's like, again, you're in this stalemate. You've reached this point, and it's quite difficult to break down that barrier, to get past it. And this is causing, I think, frustration for both of you. I think a big reason why they like you, why they want to make you their Valentine, why they secretly admire you, is that something just feels right with you. With this Two of Cups and with the Six of Cups, it's like there is something sort of nostalgic and comforting about you. They might have a lot of good memories with you already, or they just see you as this source of comfort, or they see you as like somebody who, even if you haven't known each other that long, it's like you get along so well that they've just known you forever. You just fit together perfectly. It's like you're meant to be. It feels as though you align so perfectly. There is something that like feels familiar about the relationship, even if you've not been in like an official relationship before. It could be that the two of you feel as though you have shared like a past life together or something like that. It's given me sort of like finishing each other's sentences vibes, or like knowing what the other person is going to say or feels before they say that, or something like that. If you believe in that kind of thing, it could be that you have shared like a past life together. Or like maybe you've just known this person from your past, but it's never been able to get past a certain stage. It could even be like, if it is the sexuality thing, I'm sorry I keep using this as an example. Like if it doesn't apply, obviously please like take it to how it applies with your situation. But if it is like you are a woman and you're attracted to another woman, it could be that maybe like you've known this person for a long time and you once had a friendship with them, and maybe like you were friends in high school or something like that, but maybe both of you weren't open about your sexuality then, and maybe like recently you've come back together, you've been more open about it, and maybe like the two of you have always been attracted to each other in that way, but it was never able to be expressed, and now like that has come to light a little bit more. You know that you're attracted to each other, but it still feels as though like you can't break like a certain barrier down or something like that. Or if the sexuality thing doesn't apply, it could just be that you have known this person for a long time, or they're somebody from your past, somebody who feels familiar, and it started out as like a friendship and it's elevating towards lovers. But again, there is this kind of barrier in the way. And, you know, maybe if this is somebody, again, who you might have known like since you were young or in high school, and you were never able to be together, although you got along very well, like maybe this is something you've always known. It could be that with the Six of Cups, that it's like you've always known this about each other, but things have got in the way, like life circumstances, somebody moving, somebody living in a different location, somebody being in another relationship. And, you know, the time has come where either one of you or both of you are going through this ending and you are returning to each other. It's like you are realigning with each other. And you are getting all those comforting, familiar feelings back. You are feeling as though everything could just click if we could just get over XYZ barrier. And it's this source of frustration that's just kind of, yeah, preventing you from fully being in that energy, even though you are both very much feeling it. With the Four of Wands, this does indicate that this sort of conflict, this barrier might be due to somebody's home life. Again, this could be like what we said at the start of the oracle reading, somebody not wanting to drag you into their chaotic home life. Maybe they have a lot going on. They are in the process of ending things with another person and they're not fully able to give the time and commitment to you, and they just don't want to drag you into that energy. Or maybe it's like they are so hurt by whatever has happened in their home life that, again, they can't fully commit. They're not wanting to step into this. Well, they are wanting to step into this Eight of Swords, that Eight of Wands, sorry, that is the thing. But they're just not fully able to, because they have a lot of self-doubt, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't jump into it with this person because I jumped into my last relationship and that has ended in chaos, that has ended in like separation, divorce. I thought this situation with this previous person would be forever, and it's not. And this has just proved to me that, you know, I can't trust relationships or something like that. And that's stopping them from like fully committing to you, even though everything aligns and everything feels right. Oh, it's like kind of like they're ignoring their intuition or something like that. Maybe you can see more of the potential in this than they can at this current moment, because Maybe you're like, well, in the grand scheme of things, if we are meant to be together, like this barrier is so small, we could overcome it, and why can't they just do it? But to them, it feels like a massive barrier, and it feels like a massive source of anxiety and just something they are really struggling to overcome, something they feel stuck with. They just feel like they can't get past it. And the Hierophant, can often refer to like tradition and conformity. So again, like if it is the sexuality thing, maybe it's something to do with like their culture not approving of things like that. And maybe it's them feeling as though they have to sort of align with their culture. Maybe they feel as though it would cause a lot of home conflict if they were to publicly say that they were in a relationship with you, if you made it official, or if you did something to strengthen the connection in a very material way. Maybe they feel as though they would get a lot of backlash for that with the Four of Wands in reverse. And they just feel as though if they just keep their head down and they try and ignore these feelings, maybe they will meet somebody who aligns more with like what their family or their culture would approve of, or something like that. It could even be something like different religious beliefs. It could be that this person is from a certain religious background and their family wants them to be with somebody from the same religious background, and maybe the two of you have met and you have just happened to click and the connection is very strong, everything feels right, but they are still sort of towing the line with the situation with you because they feel as though they have to do what their family want them to do and go for this person who is the same culture or the same religious background as them. And again, they're like ignoring the deeper feelings that they have for you. Or it could even be something like they're concerned about the gossip that we mentioned from other people or what other people would say. Or maybe, like, they were the kind of person, if it's not a cultural thing or it's not a sexuality thing or a religious thing, it could be the case that they are just somebody who, like, when they were in this previous relationship that is coming to an end, maybe if they are married to this person, they are the kind of person who said, like, once I'm married to one person, I am never going to get divorced, we're never going to get separated. If they have kids with this person, maybe they are trying to like stay together for the kids, which never ends well. But it's like they're trying because they want to conform to this tradition in some way of sticking with that one person, like that's what they wanted for themselves. I think that comes from a good place. I think it comes from not wanting to be a bad person. It's like they maybe don't want to fully leave this other person, this other situation, because they are like, well, I've made my vows, like I have to stick with this person no matter what, even if this person like has mistreated them or something. It's like a vow means a lot to them, tradition means a lot to them, and they feel like once I've committed to this one person, like that's it. So they feel as though they can't commit to you due to this. It feels as though they have to cling on to whatever this situation is, even if this situation is dead, like even if it's not serving them anymore, even if it is bad for them, it feels as though they're still tied to it in some way due to like tradition, due to cultural beliefs, or like their interpretation on what a partnership should be. It's like something's tying them to this other situation and they can't quite break that barrier with you for that reason. But the feelings remain. I think they are maybe trying to shut the feelings off or ignore them, or they think if I avoid them long enough, they will just go away. Like they're in this stalemate energy and they're thinking like, oh, if I just wait it out, these feelings will evaporate. But I really don't think they will. Like I think they know deep down maybe that they're not going to find somebody else who they click with as much as you. They really do see you, I think, in this Empress energy. So they see you as somebody who is very loving, very nurturing, very sensuous, very beautiful. It's giving me like Taurus or Libra vibes. So again, I know we got Libra before, so that could be you. It could be one of your prominent placements. And as well, like she's got this, candy floss, so they see you as very sweet, very just loving. Like if you have children yourself, it could be that they see you as somebody who takes very good care of their children, and that is something that really appeals to them too. They see you behaving that way towards the loved ones in your life, even if you don't have children. Like you just nurture people, you know how to give to people, you know how to love people, and that is something that they really admire about you. Your sweetness, your generosity, your compassion. Like if you are somebody who has given them advice in the past, you have been their counselor. With the King of Cups, if you have had that good balance of being that advisor, that counselor, and having that good balance between like your intellect and your feelings, they really appreciate that. They appreciate all you have done for them if you have been advising them in some way. So it's not due to a lack of feelings in any way. If you are thinking that, they really do see you in this very positive light. They really do see you as somebody who they want to pursue things with. But yeah, it's just like there is something stopping them, and it is really unfortunate. The Empress always reminds me of like fertility as well. So if you are somebody who is able to get pregnant, or even if you are somebody who is able to make others pregnant, this could be something that they really like, and they see you as somebody who they would want to start a family with. But again, there is just this barrier in the way. It could be that they even like have little daydreams and they think like, oh, if me and I was going to say the Empress, if me and the Empress had kids, well, that is you. So yeah, but I was thinking more along the lines of like, oh, if me and Pal 2 have had kids, they would be so beautiful. Like Pal 2 is so nurturing, so loving, so compassionate. They are just my equal. We could have this sort of happy family dynamic. But, you know, they don't really, I don't think they've expressed this to you, and maybe that is a source of frustration, and why wouldn't it be? Oh, also, in my previous reading, I wanted to go with 8 tarot cards, but for you, 10 wanted to come out, so that's why I've done 10, because they just wanted to come out, and I didn't want to put any one of them away because I felt as though we could get a message from all of them. So yeah, that is why you've got 10. So I don't know if this person is going to make a move, Pal 2. I don't know if they are going to give to you. Maybe they are going to do one little thing soon, which confirms that they do see you in this deeper way. Like it is not just physical, or it's not just surface level. They might do something soon to kind of prove that and give you that confirmation. But just know that whatever happens, I think they do really want to establish something deeper with you. They want to charge in. And if this is something that, you know, you already know and I am just confirming, please know that even if they are not acting on it, they are thinking on it. But if this person cannot offer you everything you need, like there is no reason for you to have to stick with them. Don't stay in a situation where, you know, you want to like move in with this person, or you want to get married, you want these things for yourself. And if they can't give you that, then regardless of how well the two of you connect, you do need to try and stick to your boundaries and find something else elsewhere. I know that sounds difficult if you see a lot of potential in this person. Trust me, they see a lot of potential in you too. But it is important that both of you are on the same page, that both of you want the same things. And if they are not currently able to provide that, then I think the best thing to do would be to live your life and possibly date other people if that is something that appeals to you, or just have a bit of time by yourself. Don't invest your everything into somebody who can't give back the way that you can. I know that might be difficult to hear, but I'm not saying that it will be this way forever. It's just that in this situation that this person's in, this barrier that's up, this thing that's happening between the two of you, it might not necessarily be their fault. But if it's something you can't overcome in the foreseeable future, that is just something that the two of you might need to communicate about, and you might need to reassess both of your needs and consider how you are going to proceed in this relationship. I don't want you to have to stay in any stagnant energy if that is not what's best for your emotional health. Okay, Pal 2, that is what I am getting for you. We will just finish off this reading by getting some advice from the Guardian Angel Oracle, so please bear with me, Pal 2. Okay, Pal 2, you got 2, so let's have a look at what you've got. We'll look at this one first. Okay, so you got patience. Patience is required at the moment. You may feel that things are not moving as fast as you would like, yet there is a lot going on energetically. The current situation causing concern is evolving positively. Let go and have patience. You will eventually realize that this whole event was in fact a blessing. All is perfect as it is. Trust, you are eternally loved and guided. And the other card we have is Eternity. Gently move your awareness from the external world to a world of light within your heart. Allow each breath to heal you as you drift to a place beyond time. Eternity exists within you, forever sparkling like a diamond. You are, in essence, a shining star, forever transforming in ever greater light. So the overall message that I'm getting with this pal too, and I know this is probably a frustrating phrase to hear and maybe something you have heard a lot from like family members and friends if they have advised you on the situation, but I'm really getting the phrase, if it's meant to be, it will happen. And I think with this eternity card, this is really well, with both of these cards actually, it's asking you to really focus on yourself and trust the process. I know that can be like a difficult thing to accept if you're not getting sort of material acknowledgement that things are happening behind the scenes. It can be difficult to trust the process. But it is like, if this person is for you, then there is nothing that will stop you being together. You can't force somebody to overcome this barrier. If this is something they feel they can't overcome right now due to their own situation, you cannot force them to jump straight into something with you if that's what you want. You can't force them to accept this commitment. You only have control of your own actions, and if their reluctance to commit to you in whatever way to really push forward with this connection, if that is actively harming you, this is encouraging you to take a step away from that situation. It's encouraging you to let go. If this person is for you, I truly believe that they will return to you when they are in a place to be able to establish more of that commitment, when they are in a better place where they are more evolved. There could be a lot going on behind the scenes with this person that you don't necessarily know about. Maybe they are working on this, but if it is not serving you to stick around in this connection, if you feel like it's not going anywhere, if it's not serving your best self, if you are feeling unloved due to this person's difficulty to fully commit to this situation, due to the situation that's blocking the two of you being together, there is no need for you to force yourself to stay in a situation where it doesn't feel like things are evolving. I truly believe that if this person is meant for you, they will come back to you. You will come back to each other at a time when it is best for both of you and when all of this falls into place. So I don't think patience is telling you that you have to remain in a situation that's not serving you. Obviously, if you are happy with how things are currently and you do feel like things are progressing, but maybe the progress is slow. So for example, if it feels as though this person is just waiting for like this external situation, this separation to take place, something to end, and then you can be together. If you feel like you are able to wait that out and you are feeling as though this connection is so strong that that person, once this other situation is removed, this person will commit to you and you want to wait it out, that is a route you can go down if you are comfortable with that. But I think it's saying not to do that if that is something you are uncomfortable with and if that's not serving your highest good in this situation. If this person isn't able to give you the energy you need and the commitment you need, maybe they will be able to do that in the future. But if not, you will find that love and commitment. You will find this energy elsewhere, even if you feel as though, like, well, I'll never meet anyone like this person, we get along together so well. If there is this barrier that's stopping you from being together and, the both of you cannot overcome it, then this situation isn't for you right now. Maybe it will be in the future, or maybe this energy will show up in another way in your future. But whatever happens, this is asking you to have patience and to trust the process and trust that you are very much loved and guided, as it says. You might have learned a lot from this situation, and even if you don't end up with this person in the long run, it could be that this situation has taught you about what you will and won't tolerate. It's taught you more about having boundaries, and that might be something that helps you establish better relationships with people in the future. So never see it as like a waste of your time or anything like that. And with this eternity card, it's just saying that, eternity exists within you. Don't for 1 minute think that due to this person's reluctance to commit, due to this external factor, this external situation, don't think that that has any reflection on you. Don't think that that makes you less deserving of love as anyone else, of a partnership of anyone else. You are very much deserving. You are that shining star. You are everything somebody is looking for in a partnership. The fact that they might not be able to give that to you fully right now does not have any reflection on you, so please do remember that. That is what I am getting for your reading, pal 2. I really, really hope you enjoyed this. If you did enjoy this reading, if you like my style of content, please like the video, please comment, and please, if at all possible, subscribe. All of that would mean the absolute world to me. But I hope you did enjoy this reading, and thank you very much for listening. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Hi, Pile 3. If you chose this pale pink crystal heart and you chose Pile 3, this will be your reading. This is all about who wants to make you their Valentine, who is secretly admiring you, and why are they admiring you. If you want more details on what this reading will entail, then please check out the introduction. But if you just want me to get started with the reading, please bear with me because I'm about to go into all of that. Just a little message before we start to say that if you like my style of content, if you enjoy these readings, please do me an absolutely huge favor and like the video. Please comment, and if all possible, please subscribe. I notice every single like, every single comment, and every single subscriber, and your support means the absolute world to me. So if you like me, please do one or all of those things if possible. But without hesitation, let's get started with your reading, Pile 3. Oh, I do just want to say as well that you got 2 cards for the Urban Crow Oracle, and the first time I shuffled them, I tried to put one of them away because I thought maybe that came out by accident. But the card just kept wanting to pop out. I tried to put it back and then it popped out onto the floor. So I just thought, you know what, it's meant to be there and let's talk about it. So that is why you have 1 extra card in this portion of the reading. But anyway, without hesitation, let's go into it. Okay, Pile 3. So we've got number 38, Protection. Number 41, Risk. Number 27, Discovery/Unknown, and we have Communicate. So it was this protection card that kept wanting to pop out, the card that I spoke about. It was this protection one, and I just didn't feel at first as though it went with all of the reading, but I can see now that I think this protection card is meant to be here, and I think you will know if this message is for you. But for some of you out there with this protection card, it could be that if you believe in this kind of thing, if you identify with having a close family member or a friend, or even an ex-partner or something like that who has passed on, it could be that the protection from them is showing up in this reading. Maybe this is somebody who has actually passed away quite recently, like in the last couple of years or something like that. And I don't normally say things like that, but for some reason it is coming through quite strongly in this reading, and I just wanted to say it briefly. And I think this is very much intended in an uplifting way. So it could be that, if you have been through this hardship in terms of some kind of grief or loss, like you have lost a relative or a family member, or if you have lost a partner or something, this could be in relation to you feeling guilty for moving on with your life, or feeling like it will be some kind of risk, or feeling as though you're doubting your own intuition, your own instincts, and you're thinking, would this person approve of me doing this? Especially if it is a partner who you've lost, which if you have, I'm so sorry if you've been through anything like that. I know that must be incredibly painful, and maybe it feels like more of a risk for you to move on, because if you have been through that kind of hardship relatively recently and you're feeling sort of ashamed for dipping your toe into the water of dating again or something like that, and you're worrying that the person you have lost, they wouldn't approve of that, this is just to say that they are watching over you. They are in approval of whatever you decide to do. If your intuition is pulling you towards a certain person, they don't want you to worry about what they would think. They are protecting you and guiding you no matter what. All you need to do is listen to your intuition and where that is pulling you. They are happy with whatever you decide to choose for yourself. They don't want you to be worried about any of that side of things. They don't want you to be thinking, what would this person think? They just want you to be happy. They want you to live your life, to feel uplifted and be happy, and they are very much protecting you and guiding you in order to do that. Okay, I won't talk about that anymore, but I know that might resonate just with a few people. So if it resonates for you, I'm sorry for your loss, and that might just be extra confirmation. If somebody needed to hear that, then that is the confirmation that you maybe need today. But other than that, this is meant to be a fun and light-hearted reading, so I will try to explore that more fun and light-hearted side and this is why I think the protection didn't seem to go with the rest of this energy, because the rest of it does seem very fun, very explorative, very, very light-hearted. So pile 3, I think the person who is secretly admiring you, the person who wants to make you their Valentine, is a little bit of a risk taker. They might have a kind of daredevil energy about them. They could be a little bit of an adrenaline junkie or something like that. They could be somebody who likes exploring new things. It's giving me like a very Sagittarius type energy. This could be somebody who likes to travel or who frequently does travel, who likes to explore different cultures, who likes to learn new things. Or they could just enjoy that sort of adrenaline-fueled side of life, hobbies that some people might consider a bit risky. They might be the kind of person who has told you that they would like to, I can't remember what the name of it is, but where you jump out of a plane, something like that. I don't know why that word isn't coming into my head. But they could be that kind of person, the person who wants to explore those adventurous, risky hobbies that some people are a little bit fearful about. They want to do it all, they want to discover it all. It is giving me sort of a fire sign energy, particularly Sagittarius, but it doesn't have to be. But it could just be that in whatever format, this person feels like a bit of a risk taker. They feel like the kind of person who would do something quite spontaneously. I think that is the thing. Oh, and do you know what I've just got as well? With this risk and this protection card showing up and me saying they might be a bit of a risk taker or they might do things spontaneously. This could be the kind of person, if you have been intimate with them, I'm sorry to call you out, but you could have engaged in slightly risky sex in some way. So maybe if you are a person who is capable of experiencing a pregnancy or of getting somebody else pregnant, maybe be careful to use protection, because if you have been intimate with this person, maybe you've been in a situation where both of you have got a bit carried away and you've not remembered to be safe in that way. This doesn't have to apply. Don't get mad at me, that's just something that popped into my head. It doesn't have to be that particular thing. It could just be that in whatever circumstances you've been interacting with this person, it feels as though they are willing to take risks and do something a bit spontaneous, a bit out there, something quite adventurous. It could be you've gone on a drive together and they've initiated car sex or something like that in a slightly more public place. I'm not saying that all of you go dogging or something like that. That is just an example, so please take that as it resonates. It doesn't have to be in relation to sex. It could just be in terms of exploring new things. Maybe they're the kind of person who if you said, oh, I've always wanted to do XYZ, and I don't know, it's go to a language class or go to some kind of fitness class that is a bit more unique. It could be that they're the type of person who's well, let's go and do it. Come on, let's go and book it or something like that. They just kind of jump straight into things. And maybe they are somebody who you feel as though doesn't always think about the consequences of their actions or something like that. I feel maybe this is a newish relationship, or if it's not yet a relationship, if it's a situationship or it's just a crush, it feels as though with this pile that you are getting to the stage where you have expressed an attraction towards each other or you've expressed some kind of feelings. I don't know whether it's developed into a full-blown relationship, but it could well have done if you have made it official. But it still feels very new in whatever context this applies to you. It still feels like this is something very new. There is a lot to be discovered. There is a lot that has not yet been unveiled. There is a lot that the two of you would like to learn about each other, a lot that you would like to explore together, a lot of new adventures that you could potentially go on. And maybe due to this person's nature, due to them, feeling as though somebody who maybe takes risks. Maybe you are a little bit scared by that, but it could also be that, like, if this is a kind of new thing, if you have been in situations in the past where you have been hurt, if you have lost like somebody who you were in a partnership with, whether that was due to an actual physical death or just somebody leaving a situation and you feeling like abandoned in some way, you feeling heartbroken, it could be that the strength of feelings that you have for this new person, it feels like a risk. Like maybe this is you kind of holding back and not wanting to go full steam ahead with it because you feel as though it would be risky to invest your feelings into somebody to get your heart broken again or something like that. It feels like it would be taking a risk getting to know this person further because maybe you already feel quite strongly towards them. With like the discovery card as well, an unknown, it could be that like this was somebody who you met while you were traveling at some stage, or you met in like a new situation, or just somebody who you've met relatively recently and the feelings have gotten like a quite strong quite quickly or something like that. If you have been in another long-term relationship and that is something you've got out of recently, maybe this person, there's a lot to discover because maybe they're not your usual type. Maybe you've been used to one thing for so long and this person feels like a risk because this person is so new and you just don't know a lot about them. There's a lot to, like it says, there's a lot to discover. It's like if you were in this other relationship for so long, if this other relationship gave you like more stability and a routine and like you knew what this person would be doing at this time and things were very structured, it could be that this unknown, this new person, it feels like a risk because it's like, well, I've never had this before, I've never experienced being with this kind of person before, and what will this lead to? And there's like a little bit of fear regarding the unknown. It could be that despite this person's more like daring nature, you might think that they're not a person who like thinks too much about like the deeper side of life because they're always just so like go-getter, so optimistic, jumping into this thing and then jumping into this thing. You might not think that they think about this connection very deeply, but it could be that actually they are more, with the protection card, it's like they are more protective of you than what they are letting on. If you aren't in an exclusive relationship yet or something like that, it's like they think of you more than they let on. And it could be that they're going and trying all these new activities, or they're going traveling, or they're doing this and that in order to kind of keep busy because I think they do think of you a lot. So it could be they're kind of like just trying to keep themselves busy to not think about the connection so much, but I think it's because they do think about the connection quite a lot that they're trying to do that even more. And from an external perspective, like if you see their social media or something and they're doing this and that, you're just like, oh, they don't think of me at all. Like they're off on an adventure, they're exploring some jungle in this other country or something like that, and they're obviously not even thinking about me because they're doing all this. But I think that they are. I think they're kind of using it as a little bit of a distraction in some way. If this is like a new relationship, you've established it being official, this could be like you discovering more about each other in the upcoming few months. Like, for example, if you decide to live together, if you decide to go to that next stage of commitment, this could be you discovering more about somebody in that way. And this could feel a little bit scary, like taking it to that next level of commitment. Maybe you are both a little bit fearful about that. But I feel like with this communicate card, this is telling you that you can make this work if you communicate effectively. And I think this person, is capable of that. They might surprise you with their ability to have those deep philosophical discussions or discuss your emotions more thoroughly. Maybe, when you first met this person, you didn't think they were the kind of person to be able to do that. And you thought it would be sort of too risky to establish a connection with them. But with this communicate card, it's saying that actually they can have those deeper discussions. They are maybe more intellectual than what they first seem, and they do think about these things more than what you might think. But there does need to be more honest and open communication. Maybe that is something, maybe there's a sort of barrier that you've not yet crossed, and maybe you're both sort of tentatively learning more about each other, but maybe both of you don't want to overwhelm each other and you don't want like too much too soon. Maybe it's like you're both protective of your own hearts with this protection card and you don't want to come across as too full on And maybe, like, you know, if this is a person who has that very sort of go-getter energy, you're thinking, well, they must not like me that much because they clearly go after what they want and they're not really behaving that way towards me. They're clearly confident enough to do it, but they've not, you know, asked me to be official or something like that. So maybe they don't want it. But I think you will be surprised at how much this person does have like self-doubt just as much as you do. And maybe they do think that like they don't want to be too much for you. Maybe they're aware that they're quite like a full-on or go-getting person, and maybe that's making them sort of reluctant to come towards you in that same energy because they don't want to overwhelm you, they don't want to scare you off, they don't want to give you the ick or something like that. So that could be how you know who this person is. Okay, we are just going to roll the astro dice to get a little bit more confirmation, so please bear with me and we'll have a look at what you got, pile 3. Pile 3. So pile 3, we have the North Node. We have the North Node. We have the 11th house. We have the 11th house. And we have Aries. We have Aries. So I think with Aries in particular, this kind of confirms what we were saying in the oracle portion of your reading, with this person maybe having, I mean, they could be an Aries or they could have Aries placements, but it's like, you know, there's somebody who goes headfirst into situations. Usually they don't really stop to think about the consequences. And for this reason, maybe you're wondering why they've not sort of taken that leap with you like they do with other situations in their life, because you kind of think, well, if they wanted me that much, they'd do X, Y, Z. Like they would jump into it, like they jump into everything else. But it's like there's something different when it comes to you. They're a little bit more, they have a more softer side, because Aries usually, you know, comes across as very like self-assured, very confident in that kind of leadership energy. They can go, they can get what they want. But it's like they have this sort of softness when it comes to you. I think they have more, like we said, self-doubt than what you actually might think. They might be more insecure than what you might think. And maybe you both know, if you do know that you like each other and you've been dating, maybe they're like, well, I don't know if we should make it official because I don't know if pile 3 wants to, like maybe they'll think it's too soon or something like that. It's like maybe you're both waiting to take the initiative and you see this person, and because you see that they're usually quite a assertive person, you kind of think it's like their job to take that initiative, but they're feeling as though like they want more confirmation from you. Like maybe if you're slightly more reserved than they are, or you don't wear your heart on your sleeve as much as they do, maybe they're wanting like a little bit more confirmation on from you to know that they should like go ahead and jump into it more. With this North Node, like the North Node is like beautiful to get in a love reading, to be honest, because this always talks about like exploring your destiny and the possibilities. So it could be that there is a lot of potential in terms of this connection if both of you are able to communicate. It could be that, you know, there is real potential here for development. With the 11th house, obviously that's an Aquarius ruled house, and it's all about like communities. It can be about social groups, friendships. It could be that it's confirmation for you if this person is in the same community as you, if they're a person who maybe advocates for the same humanitarian causes that you do or something like that. In whatever way the two of you link up in an Aquarius energy. It could also be like technology. This person could work with technology, or you could talk via technology. I mean, I'm pretty sure that most of us do that, like with our phones and stuff. But it could be that like you established a friendship with this person in an online community or something like that, and then it developed from there. Whichever way this 11th house energy is showing up, it's like that is what's bringing the two of you together. And that's where a lot of this like belief in the potential that the two of you might have has come from. And this could really go places. Like I feel like you two are quite aligned in your beliefs and things like that. And there is a lot of potential here with this North Node for this, you know, setting you off on the trajectory of your destiny. This could even be somebody who like you work together with on a humanitarian cause or something like that, or that is something that you could do in the future. That could be kind of your like part of your journey. But you do need to communicate with each other if that is something you're not doing. If you're not fully expressing your feelings, then that is maybe something that you need to work on going forward in this connection. With 11th house showing up, and that reminded me of Aquarius as well, it could be that you are just engaging with something completely different. Like the person that's attracted to you is maybe like they want to try new things with you. This could be in terms of like what you do in the bedroom. Maybe you are trying new things in that way, things you've never done before or something like that. Or somebody who you are willing to try new things with, and they are willing to try new things with you. Something that could be a bit unconventional or something like that. So that is what I'm getting with your oracle reading, pile 3. We are just going to move along to the tarot portion of your reading, so please bear with me. Hi pile 3, welcome to the tarot portion of your reading. Let's just get straight into it and have a look at the cards that you got. Okay, pile 3, so we got the Page of Pentacles, the 9 of Pentacles in reverse, the 2 of Pentacles in reverse, the Hanged Man, the 9 of Cups, the 3 of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and the 7 of Wands. Let me just double check that all these cards are in frame. So pile 3, the first thing that I will say is this person is extremely attracted to you with this Ace of Wands in a very physical way. And I'm sure this is something you already know, but the Ace of Wands, it's like if your person has the anatomy that pertains to this image on the card, or even if they don't, even if they have the other anatomy, then they are very turned on by you. They feel very passionate towards you. They're very aroused by you. They think about you a lot in that way. You might be in their head a lot when they are engaging with alone time, let's say. So that is something that's not up for debate. They are definitely very much sexually attracted to you. Whether you do or don't have a current physical relationship with this person, that is something they think about a lot. If they've not yet done that, that is something they fantasize about. If they have done it, it's just something, a thought that they return to when they are alone with themselves or something like that. It could be that if you have been with them in that way, maybe you are thinking that this connection is just like a little bit of fun. Maybe you're thinking like, oh, well, it's just based on physical attraction and this person is a little bit superficial or something like that with this 9 of Pentacles in reverse. And I can see why you would think that with the kind of person that they appear to be on the surface. They do appear to be like somewhat reckless at times. And maybe you think that they just don't have that introspective energy where they could really establish something deeper at this stage in their life. So maybe you are seeing this connection as like just a bit of fun. If this is like a friends with benefits situationship or something like that, this could be like you have explored new things together sexually, you have enjoyed each other in that way, but you are not sure if this person has what it takes to be in a committed partnership with you. And honestly, I can see why you might think that, because this person does have like a little bit of reckless or chaotic or immature energy, and I think that they recognize that. And I think maybe that is something that's put them off coming towards you in a more committed way, if that is something that you want. I think they are capable of it, but I do think that they think extremely highly of you. And there's this real sense of them feeling like they can't give you enough, like they're not stable enough. There is too much chaotic energy surrounding them to fully be there, be present for you. It's like you deserve more than what they currently have to offer or something like that, or it can't go further into a commitment because they can't give you what you need. They can't show up for you and provide for you in the way that they want to be able to. It could be that this connection in its present format has been kept very surface level because you both have deeper feelings for each other, but maybe neither of you are really going forward with that and really changing anything. So maybe it's been like this very fun time and you've explored new things together and it's like a friendship or a friends with benefits, but it hasn't got much past that. And I think, again, this person has a lot more self-doubt than what you would originally think if you first met them. If things are sort of being kept at arm's length, if they are being kept at like surface level. It isn't necessarily that this person doesn't want for it to go deeper. I think they do, and I think they see a lot of potential in this relationship. They know for a fact that they are very attracted to you. And I think also what we said in the oracle, like when the two of you are able to communicate, it's like you have more intellectual, emotional, and philosophical discussions than what you might have originally thought you would have. So it's like things do kind of fall into place in that way. But I think this person is doubting whether like you want the same things as them. So even if they want to be with you in a more committed way, it's like they're thinking, well, does pal 3 really want that? Because pal 3 kind of has their shit together or something like that, and I don't. I feel very messy. I feel very chaotic. I feel like I go from one thing to another and I can't get my life together or something like that. Maybe they struggle with like financial instability, and maybe there's somebody who like they feel as though they can't show up for you because they feel like they have to provide for you. Even if you don't have that mentality, maybe they're thinking like, well, you know, I've been going traveling and I've run out of money. Like, I don't even have a stable job. I'm in between jobs, or I'm doing this. I can't provide for pal 3. So, like, do they just see me as a bit of fun? Like, maybe I don't want to come towards them for that reason. Like, maybe they're not interested in getting to know me more in that way or something like that. It's like they have a lot of self-doubt and a lot of insecurity, and you wouldn't think that they'd be like that, but they actually are. They do think about this a lot, and it's not that like, you know, they don't want you. It's that they're not sure if they will be burdening you by wanting something more, because maybe they think that you don't want more, and maybe they think that like in a way that you're better than them, so that you would only see them as like a bit of fun, and they can't be this like provider, almost like this like husband or wife material or something like that. They don't see themselves in that way. They don't see themselves as being able to show up for you in that way. They feel quite unstable. And therefore, this is making them a bit guarded. They're more guarded than what you thought they would be. Like, you think they're the type of person who always wears their heart on their sleeve. So maybe you're like, well, if they wanted me, I'd know that. But I think that they do keep a lot back. And, you know, they're quite concerned with not being too much. They don't want to be too full on with you and put you off, because they're worried that you won't want them in that way. So sometimes they sort of keep their distance a bit or something like that. With this Page of Pentacles, it's like this person wants to show up for you in this more grounded energy. It's like they want to be more dependable. They want to be faithful to you. But I think that they think that you don't think of them in that way. Sorry, I know that was like a confusing sentence. I think they have, you know, a lot of insecurities, a lot of self-doubt, and I think that they are sort of in their head planning these things with you. And maybe this is something that has even taken them by surprise, because it's obvious that they feel a lot of desire towards you, like in a physical way. But it could be that they have found themselves kind of daydreaming of like, oh, I could go and do this with pal 3, or me and pal 3 should try this. And it could come down to the fact that maybe both of you are quite explorative, like both of you could be quite like adventurous in the things that you want to try. Not just physically, like it could be physically, but I don't mean just physically. I mean like in terms of going out and doing things that maybe other people don't always do. So that's got them in their head thinking like, oh, I could do this with pal 3. But then they might take a step back and they think like, if you haven't established that you're like more than friends with benefits, if that's what you are, it could be that they take a step back and they kind of say, oh, well, they know, because I won't ask them to do that, because they might think that it's a date and that might be putting too much pressure on them, because we're just friends and they might want to keep it that way. So it's like, I don't know, they can be quite guarded in that way. But you might see them doing all these things like on social media or something like that. So it could be that they think about you, they think about taking you to do XYZ activity, and then you see on social media that they have gone with somebody else, and therefore you think, well, they're not even thinking about me, like they're off doing this, they probably, like, I don't even cross their mind or something like that. But you do, but it's like they're a little bit reluctant, a little bit scared to take that initiative to ask you to really get your whatever your relationship is with them to this slightly deeper stage in some way. With this 3 of Cups, I get the sense that you two very much see each other as a fun time. You both see each other as a fun time, someone spontaneous and someone adventurous. However, I think that they kind of project onto you, because I think that they see you as like above them, and even though they see you as like being able to have fun, I think they think, well, Pile 3 just sees me as a bit of fun because I'm not up to the same level as Pile 3. They put you on a bit of a pedestal. So it could even be something like due to their financial situation. I say financial situation because it's like the pentacles showing up, but it could just be something as simple as like they are a bit of a messy or unorganized or chaotic person, and they see you more in your like pentacles upright energy where you are more organized, you're more in control of your life, and maybe they feel a little bit out of control emotionally or financially or something. It could be that they're thinking like, well, you know, Pile 3 is willing to have a bit of fun with me, but they might not want to settle down with me because Pile 3 has their stuff together, basically, like they have their own house, they have a stable career, and maybe this person feels as though they don't have that and therefore they can't offer you that much. So they just think like, oh, well, you know, I'll just take what I can get, like I'll have a bit of fun with Pile 3 because that's all they want, and I'll just, you know, stay in their energy for as long as possible because they do really like to be there, but they're not seeing like the full potential of what this could be because they don't think that you see that potential in them. I think that is the thing. They're like putting their own barrier up because you might actually have strong feelings towards them. You might see this as more than like a physical relationship, but they're sort of blocking themselves because they're like, no, Pal 3 couldn't possibly think of me in that way. Like, I'm just for a good time kind of thing. And you're sat over there like, why isn't this person making this official? Like, I'm waiting or something like that. With the Three of Cups as well, this doesn't have to be the case, but something that's popping into my head is threesomes. You could be somebody who, like, the person who wants to make you their Valentine is interested. They could be part of a couple and maybe you have been propositioned, like somebody wants to have a threesome with you or something like that. I don't think it directly has to be this person, like this other person that we're talking about, like your main secret admirer, but that could just be a little side note. You could be somebody, like this could be confirmation for you that this is your pile if you are somebody who couples proposition to have like a threesome with or something like that, or just do something a bit more adventurous sexually. Maybe people feel as though you're quite open-minded and that is why a lot of people are attracted to you, because they feel as though like not only are you quite stable and balanced, you've got your stuff in order, you've got your life together, but also you can let loose and have fun and be a bit more adventurous, be a bit more spontaneous. You have that really great balance. It could be that this main person that we're talking about, maybe you met them on like a night out, maybe you met them with a group of friends, maybe you were all having drinks together and it was clear that there was this sort of attraction or something like that. But maybe it sort of hasn't got much beyond that because, you know, they don't want to like burden you. They feel like they would be a burden if they were to sort of come into your life or something like that, which might not be the case, but it's like this person has a lot of insecurity when it comes to approaching you. It could be that they've tried to find out about you through a friend, like with the communicate oracle card coming up in that portion of the reading. It could be that they've tried to communicate with a mutual friend about you or something like that to find out more about you, but maybe they're not being as direct as they could be. Like, you think of them with this Aries energy as somebody who would be quite direct, but when it comes to you, maybe they're not being as direct as they could be. And you know, with this Nine of Cups, I think there is some recognition that this could be a deeper connection than what it currently is. The Nine of Cups is obviously like just one before the Ten of Cups. And it's like there is this element of this person really wanting this to go further, and they see that it could be, they do see a bit of potential, like they see the potential of this being a successful relationship. They see the potential of you being content together. They might see you as like a bit of a wish fulfillment, and this could be like why they're putting you up on this pedestal and they're thinking like, oh, Pal 3 sees me as just a bit of fun, but like not somebody who they could properly commit to, because they see you as like above them in some way, which is something, you know, they have to work through if they have that insecurity. But it's like they're sort of avoiding these deeper feelings for that reason. Maybe they're trying not to get too caught up in those deeper feelings because they think that you won't want to take it further like that. They could actually be in quite an avoidant energy because they don't really want to come face to face with their emotions in that way, because they see you as like this wish fulfillment and they're thinking, oh, but I could never get it though. So maybe they're like blocking themselves in that kind of way. But one thing I will say about this person is if they are pretending not to care, like if you aren't in a commitment with them and you're talking to other people and they see that and they are pretending not to care and you think they don't care because they are doing their own thing, they are off doing this, that and the other, and you just think they're not bothered, I think they are a lot more bothered than what they let on. They kind of see you as like their territory a bit, which could surprise you because they might not come across outwardly. They might come across as like quite calm on the surface, like even if you talk about, you know, dating other people or being romantic with other people, they might just like laugh it off and not really show that they are bothered. But deep down, I think they're a bit angry because they're like, pile 3 is like mine, pile 3 is my territory. They feel a bit protective over you in that way. And also we got the protection card in the oracle, so that makes total sense why they would, you know, feel that way. It all sort of goes together. So yeah, I think they really do sort of see you as theirs, but at the same time, it's like they're kind of blocking themselves because they're like, I want to make pile 3 my Valentine, but I couldn't make them mine because I don't think they would go for a relationship with me in that way or something like that. It's like something isn't being communicated, but something needs to come out to the surface. If the both of you like each other, like you need to talk about this because there is potential here, but it's like nobody's willing to kind of take it into that territory of being more than just a situationship or more than just an initial attraction or something like that. And with this Hanged Man, it seems like there's a certain degree of stalling taking place, and I know that it didn't come up in reverse, but it feels as though in this connection there is a lot of uncertainty, and I think it's on both ends. This uncertainty might be you wondering why this person hasn't made this connection more official, and the uncertainty coming from them could be like them thinking that you're so far above them and debating whether you would actually want that. So they're reluctant, and again, this is something that might surprise you because they come across as this like Aries energy, but I think deep down when it comes to like romantic interest, and in particular when it comes to you, they are kind of in this stalling energy where you might be interpreting it as a little bit of like disinterest because you're like, well, if they wanted this, they'd go after it because I know that they've done that with other things. But from their end, it's like they feel stuck because they don't want to do anything too fast because then they don't want to feel like they've ruined it or they've rushed you into something, or they don't want to put you off by being too full on. So it's like they really feel a little bit trapped. And they just feel like they're waiting. It feels like they're biding their time for the right opportunity, but maybe they are quite nervous and the right opportunity just doesn't really present itself. Maybe they're like waiting, and you're kind of running out of patience because you're like, why is it taking so long for this to happen? And meanwhile, they're sort of thinking, is this the right time? No. Well, is this the right time? And they're kind of going back and forth, but it's been causing a lot of stalling and a lot of confusion, I think, on both ends. But overall, like, I definitely see if the two of you are able to be more open and honest and able to communicate, I do think that there is potential in this becoming something. I do think that this person really wants you in all ways. Even if at first it did just start off as physical, I think they do see the potential for more, but whether they will take action on this, I do not know. I just think that the potential is there, and it would be unfortunate if you're not able to fully express yourself to each other. But I am just here to read the current energy. That is what I am getting for you, pile 3. Let's finish up your reading with a little bit of advice from the Guardian Angel Oracle. Please bear with me. Okay, so let's have a look at the card you got, pile 3. You got inspiration. A wave of inspiration and a stream of beautiful ideas are about to enter your aura. It is important that you trust your intuition at this time. Pay attention to unusual thoughts that come to your mind and do not discount your imagination. Many wonderful ideas which have served humanity were initially scoffed at or ridiculed. We, your guardian angels, will help you discover ways to apply your ideas and manifest new realities for your life. Okay, so I think when it's saying like inspiration and it's saying don't discount your imagination, it could be that as much as this person has been fantasizing about you and imagining all these scenarios, it could be that you have been doing the same thing about them. Like maybe when you daydream or when you dream in general, these sort of things pop into your head of what the two of you could do, things you could explore together. And this inspiration card, it's kind of making me think that there could be a lot of potential in this. Like you could, if the two of you put your minds together and if you are on the same page emotionally and if you can communicate effectively, it's like you could develop this beautiful relationship that could also potentially do a lot of good for humanity. It reminds me of that like Aquarius 11th house energy of like a humanitarian cause. It could be like if the two of you are interested in a particular cause, you could really grow and develop in that way. So it could be something that's so much deeper than this like surface level physical connection. But this is saying like don't discount your imagination and your intuition. So if you're thinking about this particular person a lot, if you're daydreaming and you don't really know why, there's probably a reason, and it could be that this person equally is thinking about you just as much, if not more, but nobody wants to take that sort of leap into taking it from a more surface level or physical connection to it being something else. But this inspiration card is really encouraging you to trust your own intuition and, you know, to not discount those ideas. And maybe if you have an idea of something that the two of you could do together and that could help develop this relationship further, then maybe don't discount that. Maybe suggest doing something. See what this person says. Don't get anxious and don't feel rejected before this person has actually done anything to reject you. And the same for them, like I'd give the same advice for them. I think you are both sort of trying to interpret each other's motivations or something like that. It's like you're both trying to interpret each other's motivations, but maybe you're getting it wrong. Like, so for example, if you're thinking, oh, well, this person would if they wanted to, but they haven't, even if your intuition is telling you that there is a stronger connection there, that there is potential, it could be that your ego is kind of getting in the way and causing a little bit of conflict because you're thinking, well, I'm not going to ask them to do this because, you know, if they wanted me, they'd come after me. But this other person could be thinking the same thing. So maybe you both just need to meet in the middle, communicate more, be more deliberate with your communication, with your plan of action, with meeting up, with going on dates or something like that. I think there's a lot that you need to make more clear to each other in order for this relationship to grow and live up to its full potential. But I do definitely see that there is potential there. That is what I'm getting for you, Pal 3. If you like my style of content and if you enjoyed this reading, please give me a like, please give me a comment, and if at all possible, please subscribe. All of that would mean the absolute world to me, and I just appreciate you being here so much, and I thank you for your support so far. Thank you for listening, Pal 3, and I'll see you in the next one. Hi, Pal 4, welcome to your reading. If you chose this yellow crystal heart and you chose Pal 4, this will be your reading. This reading is all about who wants to make you their Valentine, who is your secret admirer, and what do they secretly admire about you. If you want more information regarding what this reading entails, please check out the introduction, but if you just want me to get straight into it, we are about to do that, so please bear with me and we're going to go ahead and look at your oracle cards. Just before we do that, I did just want to say that if you like my style of content, if you like these videos, please give me a like, please comment, and if at all possible, please subscribe. It would mean the absolute world to me. I notice every single like, every single comment, and every single subscriber. So if you like these readings, please do that. It would mean such a lot to me, and I thank you so much for your support. But without any more hesitation, let's have a look at the cards you got, Pal 4. Okay, so we've got number 15, distraction. We've got octopus stinkhorn, reveal. And we have messenger. Okay, Pal 4. So there are a couple of messages that are coming through quite strongly in this pile, but the first one that's coming through is that maybe this isn't such a secret admirer. You could have somebody in your life who isn't a secret admirer as such. Maybe they think that they've been subtle about it, but they are not subtle at all about the fact they like you. With this reveal card and with like where it says octopus stinkhorn, I'm thinking of like a literal horn. So it's like maybe they think they're being subtle. Whatever they're saying, it's almost as if they're shouting it from the rooftops. They're making it very clear that they like you. They think they're being like covert and quite subtle about it, but they are just not at all. They're making it very obvious that they have feelings towards you. And I really get the sense that maybe this is somebody who you are not sure if you feel that strongly towards. Maybe these feelings are unrequited in a way. We will go on to other possibilities, so don't be disheartened if you've heard that and you're like, oh, I know who this is, but I don't like them, I'm not interested. We will talk about this in more depth, but we will also, maybe go over other possibilities of who this is. But that is somebody who I'm getting very strongly, somebody who is like, they're like your biggest fan. That is what I'm getting, or they're like simping for you. This person is very obvious in their desire for you. But I get the sense that even if you are kind of engaging with this person, even if you have agreed to like go on one date with them or something, or even if you are talking to them, I think you are just seeing it as a distraction. I think you're seeing it as your little distraction. And this could be like just because when you just talk to people, like if somebody messages you, so it could be that you've got a message from this person, and when you just reply because you're not doing much else, you're bored or something, it could be that this interaction doesn't mean a great deal to you, but it means a lot to this person. And the more they talk to you, the deeper their feelings get. They sort of catch more feelings to you, and you just see it as like a little bit of fun, something to do in your spare time. Or it could be a distraction in the sense of like you're maybe pining after somebody else. So maybe when this person texts you, this octopus stinkhorn, so maybe when this person texts you, you're thinking, oh, it's them again, but really I want it to be this other person or something like that. But you kind of reply because if this person who you want to be messaging you isn't messaging you, you're like, well, I might as well be talking to somebody. So you kind of engage with this person, but every time they pop up, you're like, oh, I just wish that it was, this other person who you're actually longing for or something like that. And now I am just a random person on the internet reading tarot. I'm reading the energy that is put in front of me. So I don't know the ins and outs of this situation. So I'm going to kind of approach this with as much balance as I can do. I do not want to be giving you any advice that is detrimental to your best good. And I will say that, because with this person who is making it obvious that they like you, it could be that you are quite put off by that. Maybe this person, you don't really see them in that way. They're kind of giving you the ick, or your intuition is telling you like they are just too much. And that is absolutely fine. You cannot force yourself to be attracted to somebody who you are not attracted to. And if, the thought of this person is making you recoil and it's making your genitals shrivel up in avoidance of this situation, then I don't think it's necessary to say that you should give this person a chance. If you're just not attracted to them, you're just not attracted to them, and that is okay. But I do think maybe this person feels quite strongly for you. So if you know that there is never going to be a chance for this person to be with you in a romantic way, I definitely think you need to be a little bit more straightforward about that if you haven't been up to this stage. And, if you have just been talking to this person in a friendly way, and it hasn't really gone past romantic, if they are putting too much stock in that communication and they think it's romantic and you don't, I'm not saying that that is any way your fault. You're not like leading anyone on just by talking to them. But I'm saying if you have been romantic with them, or you have sort of made a promise of this being something more and you know that it definitely won't be, you know that it won't be anything other than a friendship, maybe set this person right, because I do think they think a lot of you. And I think they have deeper feelings for you than what you might think. You might just think that they're just attracted to you and that's why they're obsessed, because they're trying to get with you. But I really do think that they have, stronger feelings for you, and there's no need for you to like play with somebody's emotions if that is what you are doing. You might see it as just a distraction or just a bit of fun, but they are reading more into it, I think. So maybe just be cautious with people's feelings. If you know that's something you're doing, then maybe make it clear to this person that it's never going to be anything more than a friendship. Don't use them as just like a distraction to the person you actually want. But equally, I'm not saying that's the case for you. It's just something that's coming through. If you know you have been doing that, then if you know, you know. If it doesn't apply to you, please just ignore that portion. If it doesn't apply to you, then it doesn't apply. You don't have to take that. If this is somebody who you decided to give a chance to, or maybe you're sort of talking to multiple people, or you're talking to two people, and maybe this person, you feel as though they're being like a bit full on, and it's making you lean more towards this other person who maybe isn't being as attentive to you as this first person. I'm not telling you to do anything one way or another. This isn't, an advice channel. I'm not qualified to do that. But I would really encourage you to check in with your intuition. And I completely understand if your intuition is telling you that this person is too much and it's genuinely setting off like red flags in your head, it's setting off alarm bells. Basically, if you're thinking to yourself, I wouldn't like to be alone in a dark room with this person, or you sense that they are a bit stalkerish or a bit creepy, and that is what your intuition, your gut feeling is telling you, then I would advise you to trust that. And for that reason alone, if not any other, regardless of their feelings, I would encourage you to be as direct as you can without putting yourself in danger with this person, because they could be the type of person where if they are a little bit creepy and they do interpret people's actions as romantic when really it was just intended as friendly, you don't want to end up in a situation where they're putting pressure on you because they feel like you led them on or something like that. And again, that would be completely their fault. It's their responsibility to check their own emotions and their actions. However, if you know that, they are never going to go to that place with you, you're never going to be physical, you're never going to have that kind of relationship, it might be better to kind of nip it in the bud before their feelings get deeper, if that is the case. And, I very much trust you to make your own decision. If you are feeling as though this person is giving you the ick and it's for a valid reason, then please cut them off. You do not have to engage with that. You don't owe them anything. If you're not attracted to them, that's fine. You can leave it well and truly alone. However, I would like you to just check in with yourself, and if you think that maybe you are being a bit harsh and actually this person hasn't done anything wrong, I want you to really analyze your feelings and what that could mean. And what I mean by this is that often, if we have been in situations where we are not used to receiving consistent effort from a romantic partner, if we have been with avoidant partners, if we have been with emotionally unavailable partners, if that is what we gravitate towards, sometimes a secure and healthy relationship can feel overwhelming. It can feel like too much. It can feel too intense when you have never had that healthy relationship before. So I would really encourage you to unpack your own traumas in terms of relationships. And if, let's say, you have these two people who you are kind of deciding between, if you are finding yourself becoming more focused on the person who is behaving quite toxic in terms of they aren't giving you attention, they aren't texting you back, they aren't showing up for you, they aren't being consistent, they aren't showing you that they want you, if you are in the process of choosing between that person and this other person who maybe is showing up for you, is showing consistency, is giving you their time, their energy, their effort, if you are thinking that all these things, consistency and effort, is what's putting you off this person and it's making you lean more towards the other person, I would really encourage you to check in with yourself and really acknowledge where that feeling comes from. Is this person actually giving you the ick, or are they just giving you the opportunity to have the first healthy relationship that you've ever had, and that is becoming overwhelming? You are not used to that. You have never been put in that position before. So effort and consistency feels like somebody being too much. I'm not here to tell you what the answer is one way or the other. It's just something for you to consider. You have to trust your own judgment and your own intuition. If this person is a creep, if they're a straight up creep, then they're a creep. I trust your judgment on that. Cut them off. But if it's the case that you're just not sure about this person because you like them, but it feels a little bit overwhelming and you're used to, doing the chasing, or you're used to having avoidant partners, it could be that you really need to sit back and analyze what you want in your future relationships, what you want for your life. Because if you are consistently dealing with avoidant partners and you are hoping to find emotional stability, you are hoping to be vulnerable with that person, you are hoping for it to become something more than just this situationship, that is not going to be the case. So this is just encouraging you to have a little check-in with yourself and really think about the choices you want to make. If you're not attracted to somebody, you can't force attraction, as we've said, and I don't think you should try to do that. But if this is somebody you were initially attracted to, but their consistency, the effort they're making, feels as though it's like too much, you might just want to check in on where that comes from. Does this stem from trauma? Does this stem from the relationships you learned about in childhood? Why are you more drawn to unavailable people than people who are willing to show up for you? What sort of self-worth issues and insecurities do you have to unpack in that to get to the bottom of why you are showing up in these relationships the way that you are? That isn't an attack, by the way. I think this is something we all go through. But this is just a little reminder to check in on yourself and maybe not to sabotage a good thing if this does have the potential to turn into a mutually beneficial and healthy relationship. Okay, if it isn't that situation, this situation could be that you are focused on something else right now, and although you might have feelings for a person and they might have feelings for you, it could be that you are viewing them as a distraction. Like maybe if you are focusing on your career or something like that, and you said to yourself, well, I want to be in this position before I get into a relationship or something like that. This could be in relation to that feeling. And I would say that, when love finds us, it doesn't often feel as though it happens at the right time. It just happens when it happens. And if you do have strong feelings for somebody, no obstacle should get in the way of that. If you do have a genuine connection, I understand wanting to prioritize different things at different stages of your life. And if you're not looking for something serious, then I think it's important to be honest about that with the people in your life. But equally, love finds you when it finds you, and if it has found you at this moment and it feels like an inopportune moment, I will say that the moment that love often shows up never feels like it's the right time, but if it's the right person, then it is the right time. So it could be that, there is some kind of distraction either from you or from them. It could be that, they're saying that they want to focus on their career or something like that, and therefore you feel a bit shut out. You feel like this connection can't really go anywhere because they're focusing on something different. So either or of those situations could apply. With the messenger card, in either one of these situations, I am getting the sense that you do communicate with this person. I don't think it's like a no contact situation. I think you do communicate with this person, maybe on Messenger or something like that. It doesn't have to be, but I'm getting like people talking over text. So it makes me think of this distraction thing again. So it could be that, you're talking to this person every day and it's just like, hi, are you okay? What are you up to? And you answer back like very vague replies, but it means more to them than what it means to you. And they're just eager to learn more about you. They really like you. They're interested in you in that way and they want to keep talking. And maybe to you, it's just like a distraction. It's just something to do in your day. Like maybe you do enjoy talking to them, but you just don't see it as that deep or something like that. But like every time your name pops up on their phone, they're like, oh my God, Pal 4 just messaged me. But then when their name pops up on your phone, you're like, oh, them again. I know that sounds really mean, but I just don't think it comes from a place of maliciousness on either end. I think, in your case, you just don't think about it too deeply, but this person, has quite strong feelings for you. Like I say, they are a fan, they are simping, they do want more with you. And I do think that they are quite obvious about it. It could be, like we said at the beginning, that they think that they're being subtle, but they'll say something and it's like, that it's just to try and get your attention. Maybe they could brag or something about the amount of partners that they've had in the past, or something like that, and they're thinking that that will impress you because they do want to impress you and maybe they want to like take care of you in that kind of way, and they're thinking if I just say this then Pat 4 will know that I'm really good in bed and they'll want to give me a chance or something like that. But it just kind of gives you the ick and you're kind of like, why are you telling me this? Like I literally do not care. And that it's because they want something from you in that way. But I don't know, maybe you're just feeling as though it's a little bit icky. It's making you feel a bit cringe about the situation. And you're just not too sure. You're not sure if this person is the person for you, but they very much think that you are the person for them. They really want to make you their Valentine. I would be surprised if they didn't make some like cheesy comment on Valentine's Day at the very least. If they don't, it would probably be just like due to insecurity, I would think. But I think also with the messenger card, it's like they talk about you to other people quite a lot. They find ways to slip you into conversation. maybe this is like a mutual friend, maybe they know some of your friends and they always find a way to talk about you to bring the conversation back to you in some way. That is what I'm getting so far for you, Pile 4. We are just going to have a look at the Astro dice. I'm going to roll those, so please bear with me and we'll have a look at what you got. Pile 4. Oh. Okay, Pile 4, this is so weird, but I've literally rolled the exact same Astro, like it's landed on the exact same things as a previous reading. I'm pretty sure that it has anyway. I know that all of these, I know that all 3 of these have definitely appeared in one of the earlier piles in this reading. I think it might have been either pile 1 or 2, so you could have some messages in there. Maybe you were attracted to pile 2, maybe you've watched that and you'll come into this reading like you're attracted to this too. Maybe there's some overlap, but I am interpreting this pile as like having slightly different energy, so let's have a look at what that is. So basically we have Taurus, we have Taurus, we have the second house, we have the second house, and we have Uranus. We have Uranus. So with Taurus in particular, I know we spoke in one of the earlier readings, the readings that these placements showed up in, we spoke about how Taurus can be quite stubborn, and that is very much true. With this energy in particular, I think, Taurus can often get very fixated on something. They are a fixed sign. Once they have their mindset on something, once they have a goal in mind, they are like dedicated. They want to build towards that goal. Nothing else is getting into their space, into their energy. They are just very focused on that particular thing that they are, fixating on at that time. And I feel like in this situation, this person is very fixated on you. It's like nobody even comes close to catching their attention. Like you are it for them. They're very fixated. I also think that Taurus can, often be quite a romantic sign. This could be somebody who's a little bit of a hopeless romantic in that way, and they just see themselves as, in this kind of fantasy of building a particular life with you. They see like far ahead into the future. They're like, oh, pal 4 and me could do this. We could have kids, like we could be this. And then you might be sat there like you might not even want kids. You might, not have the same ideas. You might not be on the same page as this person, but they've thought so far ahead into the future and they're very focused on building with you. Now, if this is somebody who that is like an unrequited situation, this could feel a little bit toxic because, you don't want them in that way and you don't want them to get the wrong idea. But equally, if it is that person who either they feel as though they have to just do such and such a thing before they're with you, or it is somebody who you are interested in but you're not sure about. It could just be the case that in the instance where, they have to do something, they have to get something out of the way before they're able to maintain a committed relationship. It could be that they're very fixated on the project that they have in mind. This could be like establishing a career or getting to a certain financial status with the second house showing up as well. It could be something like that. They feel like they're having to establish this particular rank before they're in a relationship or something like that, and that is something they're very focused on at the moment, because eventually like they do see a future with you. They see themselves as building something with you, but they need to build themselves up first in some way, something like that. It could be like with the second house that they are very, very focused on finances. They are focused on establishing material security for themselves, of feeling like they can provide for you or provide for themselves before they enter a relationship or something like that. They could even work in the financial sector. They don't have to, but it could also be that they are focused on like getting a house. Maybe they live at their parents and they're focused on moving out and they don't want anything to distract them from that endeavor because they feel like they need to get to that stage in order for the two of you to be anything more than what you are or something like that. Doesn't have to be that exact example. And if this is the person who is making it clear that they really like you, if it is that person, it's like they want to buy you things. They might show love with their love language, might be gift giving or something like that. They could do nice little things for you. Like, let's say you work with this person, they could bring you gifts, even if it's just something as like simple as bringing you a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and they don't do that for other people or something like that. It could be something that's very small like that, and that might give you a clue as to who this is. And if it's somebody who, like we've said, is like simping very hard over you, it could be that, you know, let's say they do work with you, and it could be something like, you know, they say, I'm going to the shop, do you want anything? And you're like, oh yes, I'm starving, could you get me a banana? I don't know why I said banana, as if somebody, like if they were hungry, like if they wanted their lunch or something, they would send someone to the shop specifically for a banana. But whatever, that's the example we're going with. So you say, yes, I would like a banana, please. And it's like they come back from the shop with not just one banana, they are giving you the whole pack of bananas. But that's not it. They have also got some plums, and they've also got a bag of ripe, juicy peaches, because they are seeing you as this ripe, juicy peach. And they just want to impress you with all the fruits that they can offer you. I'm sorry if that sounded like a little bit cheesy. I feel like I'm channeling this person's energy. So I think sometimes this person, like, you might feel as though they can be a little bit cringe, like a little bit cheesy. So if I'm being that way, then that's why. It's just this person's fault. That's a good excuse, isn't it? Like, no, I'm not cringe. Like, it's just this person's energy. But yeah, that is what I am getting. Like, that's the kind of person that they are, and that's how you might know who this is. And with Uranus as well, it's kind of like what we were saying, you know, if this is somebody who is actually a genuinely good person and they're not actually a creep, but maybe you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed by them, it could just be that this is saying to give something different a chance. Maybe you have never dealt with a person who has made consistent effort like this before. Maybe you are not used to being dealt with in like a romantic way. If this person is a little bit romantic, if they are a bit cheesy, maybe you are just not used to that. And at first it can be quite jarring, it can be quite off-putting. It's like there's something about it that is so different to the way that you've been treated in the past that it doesn't quite feel comfortable. But maybe if that is the case, it's telling you to really analyze why that is. Like, is that coming from a place of like, okay, I genuinely don't feel that way about this person? Or is it coming from a place of like past trauma and being unwilling to give different people a chance because you are so used to being treated in one particular way that wasn't actually ever good for you in the first place? I'm not here to tell you which one applies, but it's just something to think about if that is the case for you, if it does resonate. It could also be that this person just thinks a lot of you, and they think of you as very different, very unique, and they've just never met anybody like you before, and they have really strong feelings for you for that reason. That's why they want to make you their Valentine. So that is what I am getting with this energy so far, Pal 4. If you are enjoying this reading so far, please stay tuned, and we will now proceed to move on to the tarot portion of your reading. Okay, Pal 4, I'll see you in the tarot portion. Hi, Pal 4, welcome to the tarot portion of your reading. Let's just get started and have a look at the cards you pulled. Okay, Pal 4, so we have Strength. We have 8 of Swords. We have the 9 of Swords. We have the 8 of Pentacles. We have the 10 of Swords. We have the Chariot. We have the Queen of Cups. And we have the World. So Pal 4, obviously in the oracle portion of the reading, we spoke a little bit about those two different scenarios. So I'm going to do that again because I think there are a couple of different messages coming through with this pile. So with the person who wants to make you their Valentine, in the instance that these feelings are returned by you, that these feelings are mutual, and that it's you who is wanting something more, but something is distracting this other person, something is opposing this connection, it's getting in the way of this connection. It's like you have had a lot of anxiety with this 9 of Swords about this situation, and with the 8 of Swords, you have felt quite trapped because ultimately you can't change this situation in terms of like, If this person is focused on their career and that is why, they are not willing to give you a chance or to pursue this relationship further, you can't change that. It's making you feel paralyzed because you can't control what they do, and you shouldn't have to. Like, all you can control, this is what you have to remember, powerful, is all you can control is your own actions, and you do not have to stay stuck in this situation. If you do not want to be there anymore, that is something I want to remind you of, that you can remove yourself from this situation. If this person is unable to give to you, is unable to provide for you in the way that you need them to, you can remove yourself from this situation. You do not have to be here. If you are constantly feeling this anxiety because you are feeling as though, like, this person is distracted by something else and they can't give to you the way that you need them to, you can get out of it. That is something that I want to say. At the moment, it might feel as though it's taking all your strength just to try and push past this barrier. And maybe you're saying to yourself, well, when they get to XYZ point, they will commit to me, they will want to do this. But if this is causing you too much anxiety to cope with in the meantime, like before you get to that point, then there is nothing wrong with you sticking up for your own needs, your own boundaries, asserting yourself and removing yourself from that situation if that is not something that you want to be engaged in. If you don't want, and I'm not saying this person is in the wrong, if there is something that is taking a lot of their attention, and this could be like anything. This could be a job. It could be the fact they live in a different location. It could be they have a lot of responsibilities at home. Maybe they have childcare that they need to put first. Maybe they deal with like a disabled relative. Maybe they take care of somebody in that way. Maybe they work a couple of jobs and that is what takes most of their energy and they're focused on their finances or something like that. It could be any one of those things. And I'm not saying that it makes them a bad person or it makes them in the wrong if they are focused on that and they can't give you all the attention you need right now. But equally, I'm not saying that you should have to persevere if that lack of consistency and that lack of energy and you feeling like you're just getting in the way or you're a distraction to them. I'm not saying you should stay stuck in that situation if that is not serving you. If it is bringing you a lot of pain to stay in that situation, I would definitely encourage you to remove yourself from it if you're feeling like it's requiring too much of your strength. If you're feeling sort of exhausted with the Ten of Swords by this whole situation, if it's feeling like it's getting you to the point of collapse, like you cannot be the one putting your all into this relationship or something like that, then you don't have to be there. You have control. That is something I want you to know. If this person is, thinking that this isn't the right time to get in a relationship, then you can't change that. That is the thing. If they are stuck on that mentality and they don't want to see your value for all that it is, you cannot force that. You cannot change it. All you can do is show up authentically for yourself and hope that this person sees the potential in you and in this relationship. Well, you can't force them to do anything. And if they are saying that, it's not the right time, then ultimately you have to accept that. And if that gives you the clarity you need to end that situation and move on, at least for the time being, then that is maybe something that you should do. However, if you are doubting whether this person does care about you or whether they are just like utilizing you as a distraction, I don't think that is the case. I think they do genuinely care about you. I think this person is somebody who literally, they want to give you the world. Oh my gosh, it's got a banana on the card. I just realized, and we were talking about bananas in the oracle reading. Yeah, that's really interesting. But yeah, this person ultimately, they would love to be able to give you the world, but maybe this circumstance that they've got going on in their life, it's just not possible. They can't give you everything that you need, and that is maybe they can't dedicate a lot of time to you, maybe they can't dedicate a lot of effort towards you, and they see you as somebody who is very much worth a lot of effort with the Eight of Pentacles. They see you as somebody who they would have to put a lot of effort into maintaining a relationship with, and that is not a bad thing. They see you as somebody who's worth that. They know that they should be showing up for you in a certain way, but a part of them feels as though they just can't offer that, whatever situation they're in currently. It could be that because they really want this with you, maybe they feel stuck, maybe they feel in this Eight of Swords energy, they feel paralyzed because it's as much as they'd love to be with you and to make this connection, whatever that may be, more official. It's like they can't, because they just feel trapped in this current energy, whatever, you know, circumstance they're dealing with. It's holding them back from being able to fully express themselves to you. And it's like they do have the urge to come charging towards you with this Chariot. It's kind of this energy of like, oh, if I wasn't dealing with XYZ situation, I would come in and I would ask Pal 4 to marry me, like literally in a heartbeat. I am so all about Pal 4. I don't think that it's anyone else is getting their attention or anything like that, but it's just that they can't fully give you everything that they need in order for the two of you to be happy. But the reason they like you as well is this Queen of Cups. Like, they see you as very compassionate. They see you as somebody who has a lot of emotional intelligence. You could be somebody who's very empathetic, and they pick up on this. And I think they do see you as everything, like everything that somebody would want. And they want it, but it's like they can't fully have it. With this World card, it's like they see you as it, like you are the ultimate. They feel as though you are somebody, like you could really belong to each other, you could really fit together very nicely, you could really be something. But it's like whatever circumstance is going on in their lives that is causing a lot of anxiety, it's just causing this barrier, and it's quite difficult for them to get out of this energy and to overcome that. Equally, this could be like that situation, but kind of the shoe is on the other foot. Like, it could be you who is feeling distracted by something else. You've got something big going on in another aspect of your life, and you feel like you can't fully give to this situation, even though you really want to. It's like with this Nine of Swords, maybe you are struggling with your mental health, or you have been recently, and you're just not in the place to be able to give your all to this connection. Or you just feel as though for whatever reason it's not the right time. You feel as though I need to do XYZ before I'm able to do this. This could just be your mentality towards the situation, but equally it could be like a very physical barrier that is stopping you from being able to fully commit to this connection. You could be going through a lot of anxiety, and there could be a lot of back and forth taking place in your mind, because you're thinking like, well, everything is perfect, like this person would be perfect for me if it wasn't for this thing, but this thing feels like a big thing that you can't get over or something like that, and you're sort of debating in your mind how to go about this situation, but you could be feeling quite victimized for that reason. In terms of the alternative situation, which was the situation regarding unrequited feelings, so if you know who this is, if they are quite obvious about it, but you don't return those feelings, it could be that this Swords energy, this Eight of Swords, the Nine of Swords, and the Ten of Swords is representative of this person's energy. Maybe they feel quite trapped because they're stuck on you, like with that Taurus energy we got in the Astro Dice. Maybe they're quite fixated on you, and they just don't ever see themselves getting over you. It could even be, like with this Swords coming up and a lot of sort of intense emotions, this could even be someone from the past who you are done with. Like, maybe you did once have feelings for them, but now you don't, and they still sort of harbour those feelings for you. If you've managed to maintain a friendship of some kind with this person, then it could be that they still harbour a lot of feelings for you. And maybe if you just see them as like totally platonic now, you could be approaching them and saying like, oh, like I'm going on a date with such a body, and it's like this thing that you say cuts through them, because they are thinking, oh, I still have such intense feelings for Pal 4, and I wish they hadn't told me that. It's made me feel trapped. It's made me feel like I can't do anything about it, because they clearly don't feel this way about me. They're going on a date with somebody else and there's nothing I can do about it, or something like that. They could just feel like that situation is quite difficult to cope with. This person could feel like a little bit heartbroken over you, whether you've had a past situation with them or not. It's like they feel as though you're the only one, like you're their world. If this is someone new, it's like they've got very intense feelings very quickly, but that's what makes me think that it could be potentially someone from the past, because this is very, the feelings are quite overwhelming. It seems like somebody who, you know, feelings have been established. So it could just be someone like who you've dealt with in the past. You had a little romantic thing, but that has ended, and maybe you still text each other, you still talk, but you just see it as platonic, and they see it as something more. They want to make you their Valentine. They want things to be how they once were, if you ever were romantic or something like that. It's like they think that they still have a chance, or they're trying to get back in with you, but maybe as well they sense that you're not interested anymore, that you're no longer giving them the time of day. And maybe again, that's making them feel a little bit restricted and paralyzed because they're like, oh, I feel so strongly, but like, what can I do? Because I don't think Pile 4 feels that way about me. But I think they are very much placing you above them. Like, they are seeing you as this Eight of Pentacles. It's something they would have to work hard for. It is, you know, like we said in the Oracle, it's a little bit like, you know, you're a celebrity and they're your biggest fan. They're seeing you as like, wow, like Pal 4 is just so talented and so this and so that. And there is no one but you in their mind. That is what I'm getting. So obviously, you know, if that does ring true, it could be that they feel that they would have to build up a lot of strength in order to be able to communicate these feelings for you. Maybe it would take a lot of bravery, a lot of courage for them to be able to do that because they're not quite sure how you would react. I think they've made it obvious they like you, but they just don't know how you feel. So it's like, maybe although it's obvious to you, like they've not come clean and directly said it, and maybe they're building themselves up for that. So if that is something you want, that could be happening. But if that's not something you want, that is maybe something they're thinking of doing. So I don't know whether you would maybe want to like try to shut that down in some way before it happens, if that does resonate with you. But that is what I am getting for you, Pal 4. This could also be that you feel a little bit trapped. If this is like an unrequited situation, it could be that you feel a bit trapped by your own choices because maybe you're thinking, maybe you're doing some self-reflection and you're like, why am I only attracted to emotionally unavailable people? So you're like, you know, this person is coming in and they're willing to give me the world. They're willing to do this and this. And I am put off by that. I find it overwhelming. I find it too intense. But this person who isn't giving me any attention, I want to chase them. I want their attention. I want them to validate me. So maybe it's you sort of struggling with mental health because you're coming to terms with past traumas, things that have made you sort of think that way about romantic relationships. Maybe you're thinking about past issues that have led you to this point where you end up with like emotionally unavailable people or something like that. Oh, and with this world card as well, it's kind of reminding me, like, it's kind of, I know we said about bananas, like, I'm gonna stop talking about bananas, but it kind of reminds me of that like similar energy, because like this raccoon is like you, and maybe this banana person, maybe that's the person who's like fixated on you and they're willing to give you everything. And let's just say that they are a good person and they are worthwhile of your energy. It's like they're coming willing to give you everything. They're willing to give you the whole banana. But then you've got this person over here and they're keeping their distance. They're not really interested in you. Is that an ice cream? I think it's an ice cream. Yeah, it looks like an ice cream sundae or something. So, yeah, it's like you've got this ice cream sundae at a distance, or this ice cream sundae is at a distance from you, and you know that this ice cream sundae isn't necessarily good for you. You know that this banana would be the healthier option. But you're still fixated on this ice cream sundae, and maybe, you know, the ice cream is melting all over your hand, and you're having to slurp up the cream. Maybe it's leaving you in a sticky situation, leaving you in a mess, but you're just taking what you can get. You're slurping up whatever lands on your hand, but it's like you don't have access to the full ice cream. It's at a distance. You're just taking what you can get from that situation. Meanwhile, this banana is here. This banana is, I feel like this sounds really weird. This analogy is so weird, but this banana is here. This banana is ready to satiate you. This banana will keep you full. This banana will give you the nutrients you need to help you grow. This ice cream won't, but you're still just thinking about the ice cream. So again, that goes back to like that sort of analogy of, you know, if you are dismissing a person who could be good and healthy for you to try and attain this unavailable ice cream, then that is just something to think about if that applies to you. It doesn't have to, but it's just what I thought of when I looked at this card. Sorry, I know that was a really strange analogy and I maybe didn't explain that very well, but that is what I am getting for you, Pal 4. Okay, Pal 4, that is the energy that I'm getting for you. So we are just going to finish this reading off with a little look at the Guardian Angel Oracle. We are going to finish off with some closing advice from there. Okay, Pal 4, let's have a look at your Guardian Angel Oracle. So this card says, Judgment, let go of your fear of being judged. You are good enough. It is time to release all that you have kept safely locked away in your heart. Your true essence and potential have been restricted by structure and method for long enough. There is no right or wrong way, just be you. Okay, so this judgment card, it could refer to judgment in terms of you judging yourself. If you are going through this kind of moment of self-reflection and wondering why you have ended up in some of the relationships that you've ended up in, this could be encouraging you not to have judgment for yourself regarding that. We have all been through past traumas. We have all had relationship difficulties. We have all had to learn lessons. So if you feel as though like in the past you've maybe dismissed good people as potential romantic partners and you're worried that that makes you a bad person, it really doesn't. I think, potentially it makes you a traumatized person who has things to work through, but it doesn't make you any less deserving of love and in particular loving yourself. This could also be in relation to you feeling as though maybe like you're not good enough for a particular person. If you feel as though they have something else going on in their life and they are distracted by something else, this is very much informing you that you are more than good enough. The only person you have to be good enough for is yourself. You cannot force a connection with somebody if they are unwilling to see the potential in you. But what you can do is show love and care to yourself and show up consistently. And the right person, when it's the right time, they will gravitate towards that. You don't have to beg anyone to make you a priority or to be with you. They should want to do that naturally, and the right person will do that without you asking them to. It could also be that, if you are dealing with this person and they are a little bit more cheesy than what you're used to, they are a little bit more romantic or forthcoming with their romance than what you're used to. It could be that you are like fearful of judgment from friends or something like that. And this is telling you like to really think about what you want. Nobody else's opinion matters. It doesn't matter what your friends think of a particular person. You have to trust your own judgment. You have to rely on your own intuition. Yes, if you are asking for your friend's opinion and they genuinely want what's best for you, and it is in terms of like keeping you safe and keeping you away from a negative situation and being protective, I understand that. That is very much valid. I can understand why you would want that friend's advice. But if this is the case of your friends being a little bit toxic, and being like, oh, well, that person's not very good looking, like your exes were better looking than this person, or this person's a bit cringy, why are you talking to them? If it's something like that, and if you genuinely enjoy talking to this person, but maybe you've got a bit of the ick by like what your friends have said or the judgments that have been made or something like that, this is telling you to not listen to that judgment and to prioritize your own intuition and really make your own decision and trust your own judgment when it comes to this situation. Okay, that is what I'm getting for you, pal 4. I really hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did enjoy this reading, if any little tiny part of the reading resonated with you, please let me know. Please like the video, please comment, and if at all possible, please subscribe. All of that would mean the absolute world to me, and I appreciate your ongoing support so, so much. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, pal 4. Hi, pal 5. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this white crystal heart and you chose pal 5, this will be your reading. This reading is titled, Who Wants to Make You Their Valentine? Who is your secret admirer and why do they secretly admire you? If you would like further details regarding what this reading will entail, then please check out the introduction. But without hesitation, we are about to get straight into it. So if you want me to go ahead and get along with the reading, I'm about to do that. Before I do that, I just very briefly want to mention that I am so, so grateful for all the support that I've had so far. I really, really appreciate you being here. If you like my style of content, if you enjoy this reading, please give me a like, please comment on the video, and if at all possible, please subscribe. I take notice of every single like, every single comment, and every single subscriber. So your support in that way would mean the absolute world to me, and I just thank you so, so much for listening and for being here and for giving me your time. With all that said, let's just get straight into it and have a look at the cards we pulled for you, pal 5. Okay, pal 5, so we have number 4, balance. We have substance. we have hope, and we have liberation. Yeah, so I actually pulled 2 cards for you, these 2 cards here, the hope and liberation, because they both wanted to come out and I just felt as though I had to take both of them. Let me just check that the cards are in frame. Please bear with me, Pal 5. Okay, I'm going to put them next to each other like that so we can see them all clearly. Okay, Pal 5. So the person that wants to make you their Valentine, this is actually coming across, for the most part, at this point as very, very positive. This person, I think, is somebody who is a person of substance. With this King Oyster substance card showing up, it's like this person is in their king energy in some way. They are not a person who is lacking in intellect. They are not a person who is shallow. They truly do have depth. They have substance. This is somebody who you could have some quite in-depth conversations with. And also they have a good balance between their head and their heart. I feel as though this could be somebody who is quite introspective and somebody who is quite watchful, like this bird on the card. I feel like this is somebody who really, they aren't reckless. They think before they act, they think about the consequences, and they have a very good balance between their intellect and their emotional side. It could be that they come across as like quite calm, cool, and collected. This could be how you know who this person is. They could have a lot of internal emotions that you don't necessarily know about, but on the surface, they come across as this very like sort of balanced and calming presence. But also, I'm feeling as though this could really be somebody who could add a lot of depth to your life. This is actually somebody who has a lot to offer. They are not showing up in this like player or F-boy or F-girl energy or anything like that. This is somebody who keeps their word with the substance card. You could have dealt with situations in the past, maybe even recently, where the people who you have had romantic connections with, the people who you have been intimate with in some way, maybe they promised you something and they did not deliver on this promise or something like that. And maybe you are kind of used to being treated in that way, where you feel as though you can't really trust people at their word because they say one thing and they do another. And it's just been this source of confusion for you. It's been this source of you sort of feeling in a more unbalanced mentality or something like that. But with this king energy, this king oyster energy, and this substance coming through, it's like this person means what they say. If they promise you something, they're going to deliver on it. They're not playing, is what I'm getting. Like this could be somebody who appears quite serious on the surface. I'm getting the word like stoic, but they could be somebody who, you know, like I say, if they promise something, they will deliver on it. If you know who this is as I'm talking about this person, if this is somebody you are equally interested in, and if this is somebody who you would like to be intimate with, this could be very beneficial to you in the sense that, like, if you have had people in the past who have approached you and they've said, like, they've made out like they're some god or goddess in the bedroom, and they've said, like, yeah, I'm really freaky, I'm into this, we can do this and this, like, we'll go all night, we'll do this, I'll make sure you're satisfied. If you've had those promises in the past and they have not come to fruition, they have been like empty promises, maybe somebody's promised you something like that, and when you have been intimate with them, it's been like missionary sex in the dark for 2 minutes, no foreplay, and then done, or something like that, and you've been left like a little bit disappointed or wanting more because this person's not delivered on what they said they will. This person isn't in that energy. This person isn't playing around in what they say. The things that they promise, they're going to deliver on. So if they say, I'm going to come in and make sure that you're satisfied in terms of the bedroom or something like that, they really mean it. They're going to try and make sure that they stick to their word in that sense and they really deliver on that promise. So it could be something like that, or it could just be like in terms of offering you a commitment if that's something that you want. It's like they mean what they say. maybe you've been with people who have, made you promises in that way, like, oh, in the future, we'll do this and this. They've made you think that there is a future, and then the next week you've broken up or they've dumped you or something, and you're like, what the hell? Like, we were literally just talking about how we were going to do this, and now you've broken up with me. Like, you clearly didn't mean what you said. This person is not like that. They are a person of substance who will stick to their word, who will keep their promises. And if they say to you that they have an intention on like following through in terms of more commitment or like getting engaged by a certain time or moving in together or something like that, you need to believe that that is something that they are actively working towards. That is the energy that they are showing up in. Like, they're not just saying it, they are actively doing it. And with the balance card, it's like, this is not somebody who is going to give you unnecessary headaches, is what I'm getting. Like, they're not somebody who's coming in immaturely and childishly. They're very much somebody who has their stuff together. They are very balanced in their own life. They are not going to show up and drop problems on your doorstep unnecessarily. That's what I'm getting. They're not the kind of person, if you sort of dealt with kind of more reckless or fickle people in the past, it's like with this liberation card, you are being liberated in the sense that it feels as though you are finally establishing a connection with somebody who is worthwhile and who has more of that balance and isn't just bringing you problems, isn't just bringing you drama. It could be that if you've dealt with people who've brought you drama in the past, maybe, there was always a problem with these people. Like, maybe they always had some like crazy ex who was somehow still in the picture, or maybe they were in a bad financial situation and they brought problems to you. They asked to borrow money, or they asked for you to help them get out of a situation or something like that. They brought the problems to your doorstep, but this person is not like that. They are coming in with this very balanced energy. It feels like very much somebody who has done their inner work. That is what I'm getting. And they bring you hope. They bring you hope in the future of your relationships, because maybe you've dealt with some undesirables. I'll say undesirables in the past, in terms of like, they have not given you the energy that you deserve. They have not put enough into the connection, or they have just brought you more pain and more problems. And this person, it's like they've done their work, and they therefore transform your idea of what a healthy relationship should look like. Maybe there was a stage in your life, like even recently, where you thought, like, I just don't feel I'll get that good relationship like my family have, or like my friends have, or something like that, because everyone I've dealt with, they bring me more problems, they bring this drama of some kind, and I am just looking for something more mature, more balanced. And the person that has feelings for you, secret feelings, is a person who is very much more balanced and is showing up in that king energy. It gives me like pentacles energy as well. Somebody who is very grounded and stable. They can offer you some form of stability that maybe other people haven't been able to in the past. This could be somebody who you perceive as like an authority figure of some kind. Maybe they are a little bit older than you, or there is a bit of an age gap. Maybe they are in a managerial position, or they are a form of authority in like a work setting or something like that. Doesn't have to be, but if that is the case, this could just be like a little bit more confirmation. But yeah, I do think this is maybe somebody who verges on the more serious side. Not that they can't have a laugh, but just in terms of like they mean what they say, basically. And it feels like this person wants to come in and take you away from all the difficult situations you've been in the past, all the undesirable people that you've dealt with. It's like they want to liberate you, to free you from those kinds of relationships, and they want to show you something better. That is very much what I'm getting. If this is somebody you have just started talking to, but you feel as though, I am talking about this person, this reading hopefully offers you more hope on this connection, that it is actually going somewhere, that maybe this person isn't like the other people in the past and you can rely on them more. They're not showing up in this kind of reckless or unstable energy. They are somebody who you can trust a little bit more and open up to and be a bit more vulnerable with. So I hope that is confirmation for you if that is the case. Okay, that is what I am getting with your oracle cards at Pile 5. We are just going to confirm this energy a little bit further by looking at the astro dice. So I'm just going to roll them. Please bear with me. Pile 5. Okay, Pile 5. So we have Virgo. We have Virgo. We have the Sun. We have the Sun. And we have the 10th house. We have the 10th house. Okay, Pal 5. So, what were we saying about Earth energy being significant? I'm not saying that it has to be, but this person could have prominent Earth placements. So, we've literally got Virgo showing up and we've got the 10th house. 10th house is a Capricorn house. So, this energy could be significant. Again, does not have to be, but it's just extra confirmation if it does. Regardless of what sign this person is, it's like they might have a very Capricorn or Virgo type energy about them. They might embody some of the traits of those signs. So they might be somebody who is quite analytical, a bit of a perfectionist, very disciplined as well. There's like a lot of Saturn kind of energy showing up. I'm getting the sense of, somebody who is incredibly disciplined. And with Capricorn, it's making me think of like boss energy or like, like daddy energy. And this doesn't have to indicate any particular gender. This person can be any gender, but that's what it's making me think of, like somebody who is willing to take charge, who is willing to step in and take control of a situation. So, in particular, if you are somebody who you've not had that experience of dealing with somebody who is willing to take control in that way before, maybe in the past you have been put in situations where you've had to be the one who like takes control and maybe you're not really comfortable with that. Again, maybe you've had situations in the past where people have brought their problems to you instead of sorting their own problems out, and maybe you're not really used to this boss energy because this person is just very much in charge of their own life. Maybe this person is somebody who is concerned about like reputation, but I feel it's more in terms of coming across as like professional or something like that. And before I was getting the word stoic, so it could be that, this person has a lot of feelings. Again, this is a secret admirer, but if it's like a boss or somebody who you work with, somebody in a managerial position, it's like they could be worried about their reputation if they were to express their feelings. They're worried about like stepping across a boundary. They don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. Maybe they've been quite reserved. They've not said too much on the surface because they're concerned about coming across as unprofessional or as, they never want to be the kind of person who feels as though they're abusing their power in any way. I don't think that's what they're about. So maybe they've tried to keep this attraction to you, these feelings towards you under wraps. But it's like they do have very strong feelings for you, and although they might not express these emotions all the time, there is a lot going on emotionally under the surface, and I think they do really see you as somebody who they could commit to. I think this is somebody as well with high standards, so I would take it as a compliment that this person is interested in you. They see you as also being somebody who has high standards and who meets their standards. And I don't mean that in the way that they think they're like better than other people, but I think they just really see you as an equal. And they're like, when they listen to you talk, when they communicate, because Virgo is often associated with like communication, it could be that they just really feel as though the two of you are on the same page and the two of you get along really well together. You have the same morals, the things that you talk about. You can have like deep intellectual discussions or something like that. It's not just like surface level. Again, like this person has substance and so do you. They sense that about you. So that's something that they very much like. It's something they appreciate about you. And with this sun I don't mean card, with this sun showing up, it could be that this person has a lot of quiet confidence about them. They could be a Leo with Capricorn placements or a Capricorn with Leo placements or something like that. And they just have this boss energy, and they can step into a room and sort of make people listen to them. They can be this voice of authority, but in a way where they really shine, maybe when they're in a leadership position. Maybe they are in a leadership position in terms of work or something like that. This might be a way that you know who this is. Also, with this sun showing up, this makes me feel as though this person, not only do they shine, but they see you as shining. They see you as this warm ray of light, and they see you as somebody who, like, they really want to give you the opportunity to shine. So it could be that, like, if you work with this person, they see everything in you, like, not just a romantic relationship, not just a partnership in that way, but they could see themselves going into business with you. They want you to move up the corporate ladder with them. They want to give you the opportunities to move up, to advance your skill set, because they see you as the shining sun. They see you as having so much potential, and they feel as though they could really grow and develop with you in a business way as well as a romantic partnership. Maybe they see you as somebody who they could open a business with or something like that. If you have a sort of entrepreneurial side and they do, maybe that's something they've even thought about. But in whatever case, it's like they want you to shine. They don't want to be the source of your problems. They want to come in and offer you peace and stability, and they want to nurture you emotionally, in every way, to be quite honest. If you have been with people before who have tried to put you down, or they've tried to dim your light, or they have told you that you are like too much, or they've told you not to dress a certain way, this person isn't like that. They are very secure in themselves. They are very balanced, and they want to bring you peace. They want to be a solid provider, somebody who can give you stability, not somebody who can bring drama and problems to your doorstep, if that's something that you've dealt with in the past. So that is what I am getting for you, Pile 5. Please bear with me. We are going to move along to the tarot portion of your reading, so I'll see you in that portion. Hi Pile 5, welcome to the tarot portion of your reading. Let's just get started and have a look at the cards we chose for you. Okay, Pile 5, so we've got the Six of Swords, we've got the Seven of Wands, we've got the Four of Swords, we've got the Lovers, we've got the Moon, we've got the Nine of Wands reversed, we've got the Nine of Pentacles, and we've got the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, all the cards are in frame now. Okay, Pile 5, so the thing that we were saying in the oracle portion of your reading, about this person approaching you in this very pentacles, this very king, this very daddy energy, that is still something I am very much getting. With this Six of Swords, this could very well be somebody who has done a lot of internal work. They have maybe had to go through lessons in their life. Maybe, if they are a little bit older than you or something like that, or even if they're the same age and they have already been through quite a lot in their life, maybe they have been through a separation of some kind, maybe they have had failed relationships, and they therefore have this very balanced perspective regarding what a relationship should be. They know what they bring to the table and they know what other people bring to the table. Maybe they have had to learn these lessons and it's provided them with a lot of growth. They've had to leave certain situations that were harming them, and therefore it's given them this much more balanced perspective. They have done a lot of growing up. They are not showing up in a page or an immature energy of any kind. They are not showing up towards you childishly. This is somebody who has very much done the work, and you will know who this is by their behavior. So if this person is making you feel confused and this person isn't really making plans with you, they're not following through on the things that they've said that they'd do, the plans that you said you would make, then I'm not talking about this person, because this person that's showing up in this reading is going to make it very clear to you that they want more with you. It's not going to be up for debate. You're not going to be sat there questioning how this person feels about you. I mean, maybe if this is potentially in the stage of it just being an attraction, if this person is quite difficult to read, which I feel like they might be, if they are quite serious or quite stoic on the surface, and with this Moon card showing up, it's they could have a lot of hidden emotions. If they are not emotionally vulnerable on the surface like that, it could be that initially there is a little bit of confusion in this connection, because maybe before the two of you are able to really admit your feelings for each other, maybe there's a little bit of oh, well, is this person attracted to me? Because maybe if you work together or something like that, maybe you have to be very professional, and maybe this person, they don't want to cross boundaries in that way if they don't know whether you feel the same way. So maybe they have to keep it very professional, they have to keep it cordial, they have to focus on work, they have to talk about just work things or something like that. And maybe you're picking up on a vibe, but you don't really know whether you're just reading too much into it. So if you're here and you know you have that kind of connection with somebody, then this is to say that I don't think you're making it up in your head. There is a vibe here. It's because this person is feeling you in that way, and maybe they have a lot of internal feelings, but due to a workplace situation or a situation where they have to be professional, it's like they feel like maybe they can't cross over into that boundary. But if you are feeling this person as well, once it gets to the stage where you have admitted your attraction to each other, or if you have already done that, it's like you're not going to be in doubt about how this person feels about you, because they are going to be showing up for you in that king and that like pentacles energy. They are going to be making you feel supported and making you feel cared about in a very physical and very material way. So it's like you're not going to be doubting it. I mean, it could be that, like, if you have a business, maybe this is one of your clients or it's one of your customers who comes into your work, and, you know, there is this mutual attraction, but maybe it's quite hard to get past that barrier of, like, I am a worker and you are a customer or something like that. But I feel like once that barrier is broken, this person is really going to show you how much they care about you, and you're not really going to doubt it. It's not something you're going to feel insecure about. So if you're in a situation and you do feel insecure and you're like, and a person is dealing with you immaturely, then it's not this person who does have strong feelings for you, because this energy is very clear. And when I said in the oracle reading that this is a person who means what they say, with this Seven of Wands showing up, it's like this is not the kind of person who's going to be saying one thing to your face and talking behind your back in a complete different way. It's not somebody who's, you know, going to be saying to you that they want this and that with you, but then to their friends, they're saying, oh, like, I don't even like Pal 5 that much. Like, Pal 5 is way too clingy. They are not in that energy. They don't really care about, like, impressing people in that way. They might care about coming across as professional, but they don't care about coming across as, like, nonchalant in a romantic sense. It's nothing like that. So the things they say to you are also things you can be safe knowing that they also say behind your back. If they are saying that they want such and such a thing with you, they are also telling their friends about it. They are also telling their family about it. They are making it clear that they very much want you in their life and that it isn't a one-sided connection. If somebody were to speak badly about you, this would very much be somebody who sticks up for you, who is quite protective of your honor. I want to say honor, and I don't know why. It's like they want to show up as your hero in some way and defend you and stick up for you. They're not going to let other people talk badly about you. But yeah, with this moon showing up, it is definitely indicating that, you know, there might be a few emotions hidden. And I don't think it's that this person is hiding emotional things deliberately. I just think it comes down to, you know, in the initial stages when they don't know how you feel about them, it could be that they approach you in the energy of like just being a bit reluctant to share that emotional side. But you will know by their other actions. Like, once the two of you establish that attraction and that connection and the two of you get communicating, you get talking, I feel like this isn't going to be up for debate. Even if they're not incredibly open about their feelings straight off the bat, you are going to know that they care about you. That is how you will know that this is your reading. Somebody will be showing up for you consistently. They will not be making you feel doubtful. And when I said in oracle reading that this person is your source of peace, in this Four of Swords energy, this person does really want to be a source of peace for you. They want to provide that stability. They really want to be that person who you come home to, and they offer you comfort. They make you food. They nurture you. They make you feel safe. They make you feel wanted. They make you feel loved. They are just very upfront and honest about their feelings, and you know, they don't want you to feel in a state of anxiety or in self-doubt about how they feel about you. Again, they want to be your peace. They do not want to give you any headaches. They don't want to give you any unnecessary drama. You could have been with people in the past who, like, if you've had a stressful day or something like that, and you come home and you try to vent your problems to that person, this previous person might have been like, you've had a stressful day, well, I've had a stressful day, and blah, 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 and I don't need to hear about your problems, and blah, 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 blah. You could have just been in, like, quite an unsupportive relationship where you felt as though you weren't really listened to, you weren't able to relax fully in that relationship. Maybe you were always on guard. Maybe somebody who you've dealt with in the past has been quite volatile. So maybe you thought like, oh, I have to step on eggshells around this person. Like I can't fully vent about my problems or something like that. Maybe you dealt with somebody in the past who you felt you couldn't open up to in that way because they always made you feel as though you were a burden if you discussed your problems or anything emotional. Well, this person is going to make you feel the opposite of that. They are really going to listen to your problems. If you come home to this person and you say, I've had a really stressful day, they are not only going to listen to you, but they are going to be the ones saying, you know what, like it does sound like you've had a stressful day. Let's talk about it. Let me comfort you. If you want a solution, I will provide a solution to this problem. But if not, feel free to just vent to me. And also, let's book you a spa break. It sounds like you need to relax. Let's go on a spa break together or something like that. They try and come up with like a material solution to the problem if that's something that you want. They don't put you down for having shared your emotions, having shared your problems with them. They are just somebody who is going to be solid and be there for you. The only sort of negative that I'm really sensing with this person, and I think overall this reading is coming across as very positive, so I don't think that it is necessarily extremely negative, but it could be with this Nine of Wands in reverse, this person could be like a little bit rigid in their thinking. Maybe they're somebody like, especially if they have fixed energy in their chart or something like that, it could be that they, once they get an idea into their head, maybe they are very like set on that. So maybe this could make them a little bit inflexible, or they don't always adapt well to changes or something like that. Maybe once they think that a certain plan is happening, they find it difficult to shift into like doing something spontaneous. So they could struggle with a little bit of that, like they might not always be the most spontaneous person, but they are always going to be the person who shows up for you. They are going to be consistent, and if they've said they will do something, they will do it. And that does really mean a lot. With this Nine of Pentacles, this is very much somebody who is self-sufficient. They might have achieved a lot of material success in their life. If they haven't at this stage, it could be that they are just very driven and that is their goal. They aim to really go after what they want and achieve that success. But I get the sense that this is also somebody who, like, they want to provide for you. So they want you to be able to enjoy your leisure time. They don't want you, like, even if you're somebody who you said, like, I always want to have a job, this person just wants to make it so that you are comfortable in whatever you choose to do. So you could still very much like have a job and that is your own little thing. This person isn't trying to take that away from you. They're not saying like you have to stay at home and like be the homemaker or anything like that. It's nothing along those lines of being toxic. It's just saying that, you know, this person wants to provide for you so that if you did want to stay at home or be a homemaker, this is the person who very much encourages you to do that. They are willing to provide for you financially if that is something you wanted to do, or they just want you to feel as though, you know, you don't have to work two jobs in order to get by. They want you to feel comfortable and safe and that they will provide for you if you need them to. Could be that, you know, they are a little bit set in their ways with the Nine of Wands in terms of their mentality. If they are a little bit older than you, there could be like a bit of a barrier in terms of communication just due to like slight generational differences or something like that. But I don't think they're toxic about it. I think, you know, this is just due to their own life experience, and I think they will still be willing to listen to your perspective and listen to your life experience. Even if they do seem a little bit rigid with it at first, it's like you still could be the person who teaches them a new way of thinking. They could still be quite open to that. Especially, you know, with us saying like this is a person of substance, I think they really have a lot of respect for you because maybe you're one of the few people who have been able to change their perspective or change their mentality. Maybe, you know, if they are somebody who relies on like logic and being analytical, maybe you are somebody who they've been able to have a logical debate with, a discussion, and it hasn't led to like either of you getting angry at one another. It's just been a very constructive discussion, and this person's perspective has changed because of something that you've taught them. So it could be that they really admire you because of that. And with this lover showing up and with the Ten of Pentacles, they really admire you because they see you as somebody who they could really put down roots with. They see you as somebody who they could start a family with if that's something that you want. And it doesn't have to be like children. If you know that's not a route you want to go down, it could just be that they know that they want to live with you. They really do see a future with you in a very material way. They see themselves buying a house with you. They see themselves getting pets with you or something like that. They just see you as like very abundant and everything that they could want in a person. They see you as somebody who they could introduce to their family, who they really see a lot of potential with. I think they definitely see this relationship as progressing and as going far. I think they have a vision for what their future should look like, and I think they definitely see you as somebody who should be in it, who needs to be in it. It doesn't have to be, but it could be that, this person is quite financially well off. They could have a little bit of privilege. They could have come from a privileged background, or they could have access to inheritance or something like that. Again, it doesn't have to be the case. It could just be that they are maybe in a more abundant position than you. Like if they have a job role where their salary is a bit higher than yours, maybe they've been able to do something like purchase their own house. And it's like, regardless of what their financial situation is, it's like they want you to be part of their life and they want you to have access to the things that they have access to or something like that. They very much want you to be part of that legacy. They want to put down roots with you. They want to give the things that they have to you. They want you to be really involved in it. They kind of see you as this balanced partnership with the lovers. It's kind of like what's mine is yours, what's yours is mine. They see you as these equals, even if you feel as though you're less financially stable than them or something. They don't see it as like, oh, well, this is mine and I'm just going to keep it to myself. They want to share it with you. They want you to share in that abundance. They want you to enjoy a life together. They want you to create a legacy of some kind together. And it's like with this lovers, that just says it all. It's a beautiful card to get in this reading. They see you as very in sync. They see you as getting along very well. Again, it's just, they see you as their equal. They see you as somebody they want to put consistent effort towards. So overall, this connection, if there's somebody who you sense might have an attraction towards you, but if that barrier kind of hasn't been crossed yet, this is the current energy. This is what they think about you. This is how they feel, and this is why they secretly admire you. Okay, that is what I'm getting for you, Pile 5. We are just going to finish off with some guidance from the Guardian Angel Oracle deck, so please bear with me and we'll have a look at that. Okay, Pile 5, let's have a look at the card you got. So we got Acceptance. There is nothing about you that you need to fix. Reclaim the disowned parts of you that yearn for love and acceptance. You are beautiful just as you are, regardless of any faults you may perceive you have. You are an eternally radiant being of light. Accept all that you are and just be you. When you truly accept yourself, your whole world will magically and lovingly transform. This is such a beautiful card to get because I do feel as though, Pile 5, in the past, you have dealt with these undesirables and they have not allowed you to shine to your full capacity. They have not allowed you to step into this sun energy, but it feels like this person who secretly admires you, this person who there are mutual feelings for that maybe are currently hidden, it feels like they really want to allow you to shine. Could be that due to your past situationships, things going wrong in previous relationships, maybe you've been a bit reluctant to accept the fact that this person has feelings for you. Maybe you have not wanted to believe that. Maybe you've occasionally listened to your intuition and you can sense that there is something underlying with the Moon card. You can feel as though there are hidden emotions, and then maybe you've talked yourself out of it because you've said oh, well, this person is in this role, they're higher up than me, they're above me in some way, and I don't think they'd like me like that. Maybe you're sort of doubting that connection. Maybe you're thinking, oh, this person wouldn't like me because you feel a little bit more chaotic than them. If they're very controlled and you're not quite as controlled, maybe you're not quite into that King's energy because you have more work on yourself to do or something like that. It could be that you aren't accepting that this person could have feelings for you and that it could be something quite strong, that it has a lot of potential, because maybe you're struggling still with some insecurities that you've taken from past relationships. and maybe you're sort of not trusting that the situation will turn into something good because you have dealt with these other people before who didn't treat you in the best way. But this is saying that if you are able to accept this situation for what it is, if you are able to accept the fact that you are very much a beautiful person who is deserving of love, who is deserving of that worthwhile relationship, of putting down roots, if that is something that you want to do, that is very much something that you can have. And I think once you accept this about yourself, that is when things will start to, like it says, transform for you, because you truly believe it. You are like manifesting it because you truly start to believe that you can have access to all those things. Therefore, they actively start showing up in your life. You are gaining access to more of that King of Pentacles energy. More people like that are gravitating towards you. In particular, this person, it's like you need to fully accept that they have feelings for you and they see the potential in you that maybe you don't always see. And they just want to allow you to shine and to be thoroughly yourself. Okay, that is what I am getting for you, Pal 5. I really, really hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did enjoy the reading, if any tiny part of this reading did resonate with you, please give me a like, please comment on the video, and please, if at all possible, subscribe. That would all mean the absolute world to me, and it would help this channel transform and grow. So I really appreciate all the support you've given me so far, and please let me know what you think of the video in the comments. Thank you very much, Pal 5. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.